Good evening, folks, and welcome to Cecil Woolbright Field. My name's Hayden Skaggs, alongside my partners Pearson Wiley. Tonight's game is going to be a great matchup for the Midlands as we have the Newberry Bulldogs taking on the Chapin Eagles. Chapin, coming off a good win against Lugoff Elgin last week, 27-14, proves them to be pretty good for a potential playoff candidate this year as they make their debut into 5A. What do you see as big players tonight that would really show off?
For Newberry, I would look at
Good evening and welcome to Cecil Woolbright Field for tonight's matchup between the Newberry Bulldogs and the Chapin Eagles. I am Pearson Uncle P. Wiley.
And I'm Hayden Skaggs.
And we are here tonight to call an exciting game of football.
Now, as you saw earlier, Chapin coming off a big win against Lugoff Elgin last Friday, 27-14, well-fought victory on the road, and now we see him here tonight, first home game of the 2018 season, and hosting Newberry Bulldogs, who've come off 1-1 after last week getting their first win of the season, and off a big victory against Batesburg-Leesville. Now, who do you see, as we've talked about, Amori Wilmore? Do you think he's going to show up tonight for Newberry?
As long as that Newberry O-line can...
Anyways, as I was saying, Newberry had an impressive win off that big running back, Amori Wilmore, who's been doing really good for them this year. I think he could really make a difference for tonight. What do you think, Pearson?
I think as long as he gets the blocks from that Newberry O-line tonight, I think Amori Wilmore might have a big night tonight for the Bulldogs.
That's true, but don't forget to look at Chapin's defense. As you can see, defensive end Jacob Dragg, the Wofford commit, he's been playing pretty good, and I think he's also done pretty good last week against Lugoff Elgin and Mid-Carolina in that big rivalry game.
I agree, and I also would look for linebacker James Wells to have a big night tonight, as he had an amazing game last week against Lugoff Elgin. Another key player to look for tonight would be DN Garrett Hike, who's also starting both ways tonight, which is very interesting.
That's true. He's going to start at the left tackle for the Eagles offense, and he's also going to be playing defensive end, so I'm pretty sure he's going to have a full night for him.
Yep, I agree with that.
After a tough week one game against Abbeville for Newberry, it's a good thing for them that they were able to respond low last week after they did beat Batesburg-Leesville 41-39. I heard it was like a Hail Mary to win the game.
I was not 100% certain on the actual win, how they won the game. All I know is the domination of Amore Wilmore.
That's
215 yards last week.
That's pretty impressive. He's definitely gonna make a great resume, and I believe he finished second for Midlands Player of the Week.
Yes, he did finish second for Midlands Player of the Week by the state newspaper. Also, our very own James Wells was also nominated for Midlands Player of the Week by the state newspaper.
Now, one thing's for sure that we did see is Newberry's depth has definitely had a toll. But I think, honestly, if you take a look, underdogs seem to be pretty popular. Take a look at Philadelphia Eagles. Going in, not really expected to win, and they beat New England. So, I mean, there's really not a lot you can take away from Newberry. But now, we move on to Uncle P's keys to the game.
Yep, tonight, my keys to the game tonight is how can they control the line on both sides of the football. If that O-line, led by Thornton Gentry and Garrett Hike and Josh Taylor, how well they can dominate and open up holes for Tyson Thomas, Josh Lloyd, and Cooper Evans. And for Newberry is, can Amore Wilmore dominate like he did last week against Batesburg-Leesville?
That's very good points you made there. And I think both things of what you said for both teams are going to be very vital. I mean, you take a look at Chapin's offensive line. It's very young. It's mainly consisted of sophomores and juniors. But also you take a look at the JV team, who's currently 1-1, I believe. They've been doing pretty well for themselves, and they definitely got potential to make more great varsity players.
I agree. They did actually get a win last night against Newberry. They did win 16-0 last night.
So, correction, they move on to 2-1 for the season. That goes for the JV team. And I think JV is definitely, thanks to their coaches and stuff, I think they're going to make a great improvement to the varsity roster.
And yep, and now we will turn to our broadcast partner, Mary Elizabeth Pfeiffer, with an interview with Coach Gentry.
Thanks, guys. Hey, Coach Gentry, how do you feel about tonight's game? I think we've had a good week of practice. Our guys have worked hard and been focused this week, and we're going to go out and give it our best shot.
Okay. How do you feel the heat will affect the players tonight?
The heat has been pretty tough, not just tonight, but the last several weeks. And one thing we've been able to do is get our guys conditioned to it in afternoons, practicing in it. But you can never really totally prepare for it. You just got to hope that we've got trust in our guys that they've been doing the right thing with diet and nutrition and what they're putting in their bodies throughout the week. So, we got faith in our guys. They've done what's right. We've conditioned them for it. So hopefully it won't be a factor.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Back to you.
So we're just now about 6 minutes until kickoff here in Cecil Woolbright in Chapin, South Carolina. Great matchup in the Midlands. Definitely going to be a tough competition for Chapin. I mean, I'm definitely looking for them to pull out 3-0, but I'm also looking at Newberry to pull off a big upset. And by the way, Newberry has won the past 3 meetings, if I am correct, against Chapin. As last year they did beat Chapin, I believe it was 21-14.
If I'm correct, I think so. It was at Newberry last year, and the key, though, for Newberry, they did lose most of their starters from last year's game against Chapin, led by star running back Amir Abrams, who is now playing at Newberry College.
You definitely see some great players here from the Midlands going out into college and really showing their true raw talent, and that's a good thing to see here from South Carolina to produce more big-time players. That might even end up in the pros someday.
Yep, definitely, but I mean, the player for Newberry that's been stealing headlines has been Amir Abrams' replacement, Amare Wilmore. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this game tonight, and really I think it's going to be a great game.
That's true. We're starting to get a little closer to kickoff, and I believe Chapin is about to send off their captains as here comes Newberry's captains. They're going to meet at the 50 for the coin toss.
Yep, and the captains tonight for the Eagles are number 34, James Wells, number 19, Giovanni Macaluso, number 4, Michael McNeil, and number 55, Justin Gooding.
All seniors this year as captains, and I think they've definitely earned the title of captains for tonight. All 4 players have definitely shown great improvement and great commitment to the football team.
Yeah, definitely, and you look definitely towards both James Wells and Giovanni Macaluso, who've been in this varsity system for a very long time. But yeah, you also look towards Michael McNeil, who just started playing for Chapin this year, as he was at Dutch Fork. But he has so far been very impressive to start the year, and I'm very much looking forward to this game tonight.
Another new addition, as we talked earlier, Jalen Thomas, who's moved from, who originally played for Irma High School, but academically attended Spring Hill.
But yeah, now we will also look forward to next week's game, as we will be going on the road next week to Spring Valley, in what will be a very big test for the Chapin Eagles.
That's true. Chapin will head out to Harry Perone Stadium next Friday, take on the Vikings, who is going to be a big challenge for them, as they definitely got some good talent, and I believe they got really good chemistry both sides of the ball.
Yeah, definitely, and Spring Valley's been definitely bolstered by their secondary, one of the best secondaries in the state of South Carolina.
And I believe they're very high ranked too in the state. With last year's great run, I definitely put them up high in the polls.
Yeah, but they will be definitely angry though. They did start off the year with a big tough loss to Dutch Fork, but last week they came back in a
same way after taking on Newberry and also taking on Spring Valley next week.
But yeah, as we prepare for the coin toss here with a little bit less than 3 minutes, hopefully till kickoff here at Cecil Woolbright, we definitely look forward to this big game tonight. And now we can see the captains are walking towards the 50-yard line for the coin toss.
Captains for Newberry consist of number 50, Casey Sheely. I believe number 8, Bobby Inman.
Yep, that's what I saw.
Number 76, Jamari Caldwell, and number 67, Tavares Kennard.
Yep. Newberry, they're very big on their O-line and D-line. That's one thing staple of Newberry, always been very big front lines on both sides of the football, and they always have a solid running back, as we talked about with Amir Abrams, with the crown now being taken by Amare Wilmore.
I definitely think he has a big weight on his shoulders after you talked about Amir Abrams, who set various records at Newberry. And that's definitely some big shoes to fill if you're talking about a new running back who's trying to set the same example.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, Amir Abrams was a star for Newberry over these past couple years for their varsity team. I mean, the man ran for almost 2,000 yards last year and was very impressive. But, yeah, I mean, it's tough shoes to fill, but I think Amare Wilmore has taken it so far very well and has taken that challenge.
That's very true. And if you also look at Chapin's run game, with their loss of starters from last year's graduating class, you've got newcomer Cooper Evans onto the varsity roster. You have return of Josh Loy, who had the injury last year. I believe, and who else is their running back?
Well, Tyson Thomas is a starter, and last week he had a big game against Lugoff Elgin, ran for over 100 yards, had a touchdown last week. He is definitely, he's probably going to be the #1 running back we see for carries tonight. Also, though, look out for number 7, Trey Lyles, as well. He had all 4 of Chapin's big running backs, Cooper Evans, Trey Lyles, Josh Lloyd, and Tyson Thomas, had touchdowns last week against Lugoff Elgin.
And I remember when I attended the Mid-Carolina game for Chapin, I did see that Trey Lyles had 2 big plays, which I believe were touchdowns, but both got called back. But he obviously ran through the whole Mid-Carolina secondary easily and punched it in the end zone. However, did get called back, but that just shows great talent that we're getting from kids that are moving into Chapin, and definitely looking bright for the future.
Yeah, 100%. And as we see, the Eagles are about to run down the hill to start this game here at Cecil Woolbright Field, and it is definitely a big game feel here at Cecil Woolbright.
I don't know about you, but I've been waiting for some Chapin football here at Cecil Woolbright, and it feels like, as Coach Gentry put it earlier today, it's been 2 weeks, but it feels like 2 months. But we're finally here in the box, calling the first game of the season. I can't tell you how excited I am to be here.
I'm excited too. And, I mean, it's that big game feel we've been waiting for all year. First home game, always a very hyped up crowd. As you see a student section right now, very hyped up right now for Chapin. And here come the Eagles running down the hill.
And here comes Newberry as well, coming down the stairs.
Yep, and it's just, as I said, big game feel, and I'm just ready for kickoff. But yeah.
And man, you can tell the energy here is quite through the roof. As the student section, as you can see, is very energetic. They're all ready for the first home game of the season, and many more to come here for this football season.
Yeah. Another thing I'm very interested to see for Chapin is how they get that pass game going. Because the thing we've all been talking about so far this season for Chapin, their run offense has been very solid, but the pass game has seemed to struggle at times. So I'm interested to see if Roger Padroni can get that time in the pocket, possibly throw some passes tonight to Jalen Thomas and Giovanni Macaluso.
Definitely looking at Gio Macaluso, the senior this year, also the captain, as we said earlier. He's definitely got some. He's definitely got the respect under his belt. But I think tonight would be the night for definitely him and all of the receivers to really show what they're made of. And just everyone in general. It's all about energy. Energy, energy, energy. That's a big thing. You cannot win a game without energy. I mean, if you look at any team, and if you see them winning, they're most likely hyped about it. If you see a comeback team, they're most likely bringing energy to the table, and they're getting inside the heads of their opponents. And I think that's what Chapin needs to do tonight. Same thing with Newberry as well. If they want to get in the heads of Chapin and win here in Cecil Woolbright Field.
Yep, and Chapin will be kicking off to Newberry right here as Alex Nelson prepares to take the opening kickoff here for the Eagles.
You can tell everyone's ready for a great night of football here.
But yeah, Newberry putting back 3 return men to start the game. I've never really seen this before, 3 return men.
No, I haven't seen it. They have 5, and then they have one man right near the 40-yard line, 2 on the 30, and then they have 3 returners towards the end zone. Well, it looks like here they're going to drop back. I think they're noticing that Chapin does that fake onside punt, so that they may always prepare for that. So I think that's what they're trying to do.
Yep, and Alex Nelson will prepare to take the opening kickoff.
And,
And we are off here at Cecil Woolbright Field. A squib kick.
and it's fallen on and recovered by Newberry. That was number 2, Tylen Caldwell, the defensive back,
And
who recovers it for the Bulldogs.
And yep, we'll talk about this Chapin starting defense here. Starting tonight, the defensive ends, both Jacob Dragon, Garrett Hike, nose guard Justin Gooding. Starting at the middle linebackers, Dante Cherico and Jake Hames. With the outside linebackers, James Wells and Jake Watson. 2 starting corners, Will Stogner and Taylor Lehman. And the starting safeties tonight, Bennett Galloway and Connor Lehman.
And I believe the starting quarterback for tonight might be Zay Chalmers, number 16. I am correct. It is Zay Chalmers who is going to be starting for the Bulldogs offense. As they lead out in white tonight, Chapin in blue, Newberry in white. And here's the first snap here at home for the Eagles. That's a great play, great tackle there.
Looks like on the tackle there was number 38, Dante Cherico, there for the Eagles.
Great leadoff play for the Eagles defense, definitely setting that tone. That's what you want at the home field.
Yep, and now it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Bulldogs, ball on their own 27-yard line. Yep, surprise first play did not go to Amir Wilmore on that play.
Here comes the Bulldogs again, looking up to take 2nd and 10. There was probably
Created by that Newberry O-line, and now it'll be a 3rd and short opportunity. If I was Newberry, probably power.
I believe, yep, they're going to move the chains.
Yep,
First down for the Bulldogs.
Yep, Dante Cherico is the first one there for the Eagles, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Newberry, ball on their own 38-yard line.
This is pretty good momentum for Newberry going right now. Definitely moving the chains. That's the first thing you want to do when you start an opening drive. Looks like Chapin might be making some substitutions on defense.
Yeah, Chapin like to flip around their defensive looks a lot, so I'd look to see a lot of that tonight.
As Kaim Christie comes off the field.
Yeah, I assume they put Kaim Christie on there just to try to stop that I formation look.
That's a snap by Chalmers. He's going to run to the right. Looks like it's going to be a run play. He's got room to move, and that's a great stop by the Eagles. Gets a short gain on there from Chalmers. And I believe that was number 53, Jake Hames, with the tackle.
Yeah, it looks like Dante Cherico forced him to the outside, and Hames was there waiting for him.
Great read there by the Eagles defense. Going to bring up about 2nd and 7, I believe.
Yep, 2nd and 7 for Newberry, ball on their own 41-yard line. But yep, good. Yeah, Newberry trying to get that run game going early. I mean, as we said early, they are a very run-heavy team. Most of the time we will not see many passes from this Newberry team, except mostly screen plays.
And I think that was the one key thing that helped them win last year.
Yeah, screen game was deadly last year.
On a great tackle by Jake Hames again. Number 53 for the Eagles.
Yep, 53.
And that actually could be a tackle for loss, a loss of 2 yards. And I believe that's going to take up third down and 7.
Yep, looks like he may have lost about a couple inches there. It'll be 3rd and 7 coming up here for the Eagles. I mean, for the Bulldogs. Ball on their own 41-yard line. Big 3rd down here early in this game. You want to get all the momentum early.
That's true.
Yeah, let's see what Newberry dials up here on 3rd and 7.
Looks like they're going to make some substitutions for the offensive line as Jamari Caldwell comes to the sidelines, and in comes Tavares Kennard.
Yeah, it looks like maybe I think he may have come off injured on that play because they did stop the clock for a second. So, yep, now we'll get 3rd down.
It looks like it might be a pass play, but I'm not sure. He's got Wilmore to his left and 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right.
Yeah.
Chalmers in the back. He's going to take the snap, drop back. He's going to throw to Wilmore. Wilmore's got room to run. He dodges a tackle, maybe 2, and he gets that 1st down.
Yep, tackled there by number 34, James Wells, and number 14, Connor Lehman. But it won't matter. It will be a 1st down for the Bulldogs now on Chapin's side of the field. Again, that screen game is very dangerous for Newberry. It's what killed Chapin last year, and Chapin, they've been working hard to try to pick and read that screen game a lot more this year, but first screen of the game, Newberry makes a big play out of it. But yeah, it'll be 1st and 10 for Newberry, ball on the Chapin 47-yard line.
Here comes the Bulldogs out of the huddle. Looks like it might be the same play. It's the same formation. He's got Wilmore to his left, except this time he's got 2 to his right and 1 to his left for receivers. In the shotgun, it's a low snap. It's going to be a quarterback run up the middle for a short gain. A gain about 2, going to bring up about 2nd and 8.
tackled there by number 2, Jake Watson, off the edge. And, yeah, it'll be second and 7, second and 8 here. Ball on, like, the 44.5-yard line for Newberry. But, yeah, looking early like Newberry's going to be playing in the shotgun most of the night. Besides that one I formation look we saw on 3rd and 1.
And Jake Watson, another key senior for tonight's game on defense. He's definitely been working up. I believe Jake Watson, he's the outside linebacker who's been making some key plays defensively. And it's going to be a good pass caught. And for a first down, he lunges out. That's number 4, Devontae Ruff, the wide receiver,
Yep,
who gets that first down.
Yep, tackled down by number 15, Taylor Lehman on the play. And it'll be a first down for Newberry. Ball on the Chapin 35-yard line. Yeah, looked like Chapin came out in a zone defense there, and looks like Newberry exploited that zone, and they were able to get an easy first down there.
That was a great route there by Ruff, who got wide open and just lunged out for that first down to move the chains as they now get closer to the Eagles' red zone.
Yep, back in the gun here.
And it's going to be a run to the left on a great tackle there.
Yep, tackled down by number 14, Connor Lehman on the play. Yep. It'll be a gain of 3 there. 2nd and 7 coming up here for Newberry. Ball on the Chapin 33-yard line. Connor Lehman here early, coming down from that safety spot, making a few tackles. But yeah, it'll be 2nd and 7 here. And the thing about this Chapin defense, very mature. Most of the starters on this defense are seniors. All 3 that's starting, most of the starting D-line besides Garrett Hike are seniors. James Wells, Jake Watson, both are seniors. Taylor Lehman is a senior. It's just a very mature defense for Chapin.
And here comes the snap again. He's going to drop back, and he's going to look to his right. He's got a man open, and a great hit. And that's by Taylor Lehman, who's got to take him down, but they're going to call him down where the forward movement ends. And it could be just shy of a first down. I believe it's going to bring up 3rd and 2 for the Newberry Bulldogs.
Yep, it'll be 3rd and 2 coming up here for Newberry. Ball on the Chapin 28-yard line, and another big 3rd down call here for the Bulldogs. Yeah, I would think maybe another I formation look here on 3rd and 2. Definitely it's a short gain situation here, and probably will run it on 4th down too if they don't get it here. So
I believe so, as they put on Maurice Hughley, the defensive line running back, or might be fullback. It looks like they're going to run up the middle and give it a Amari Wilmore. So,
I would assume.
And yep, it's going to be a run up the middle. He gets a great block from the lineman, but he's not going to make it. A good stuff by the Eagles defense.
Yep.
And he's going to be just shy of the first down.
Yep, tackled down there by number 53, Jake Hames on the tackle. It'll be 4th and short here. I would assume Newberry's going to leave the offense on the field, trying to make a play here on 4th and short on a big call here right now for the Bulldogs.
And here comes Chalmers on the sideline talking it out with Coach, seeing what they might call.
Yeah, when they put in number 42 for Newberry, number 42,
Maurice Hughley.
Kind of looked like William the Refrigerator Perry there for a sec. Maybe thought they would go with a fullback look a la Chicago Bears from the 1980s, but yeah.
Hughley's still out there. Looks like it might be the same play. They might pull a little trickery. They got a receiver to the left.
Yep.
No, but it's going to go to Wilmore, and he's got room to run, and he's got to break a tackle and hurdle over a defender and then come down right near the 15-yard line.
Yep, he got elevated there and tackled down by number 16, Will Stogner. And Wilmore is slow to get up, though, for Newberry, and that could be a big loss for the Bulldogs. But yeah, huge gain there on 4th down, though, for Wilmore, but the concern now is for his health here. As that was a huge hit taken there, and huge hit delivered by Will Stogner, the sophomore.
But while we got this timeout, taking a recap of this drive so far, what do you notice from Newberry's run game?
It's the same, kind of the same style that they ran with last year with Amir Abrams, just power it down Chapin's throat and throw it when necessary. And as we've seen early, Chapin's come out kind of in a zone defense, it looks like. So really, Newberry's done an amazing job exploiting those zones early.
I definitely noticed that screenplay, as you talked about, that's very lethal for Newberry. Has been working in their favor. Wilmore earlier on the huge carry after that screen pass play as he dodged a defender and then eventually got brought down. And he's also been pretty good in the run game. As you see, he got into the red zone for the Bulldogs and to about the 15-yard line, which moves the chains, brings up a first down. And if you're looking at Chapin's defense, what would you need to do to particularly, stop this run game and to really exploit their screen plays?
Right now, I think Chapin, they just got to fight through the blocks, try to make sure this O-line for Newberry can't create the holes that they've been creating so far. But I definitely think this is potentially a big injury here on Amari Wilmore, and he's still down on the field. And granted, the thing I remember last year though for Newberry is that they did put in their backup running back last year, because Amir Abrams did struggle at times last year against Chapin, and their back was able to have a successful game last year against Chapin. So,
and I think that also does come from a very successful offensive line. I mean, you can't have a good run game without a good hole. And who makes those holes? Offensive linemen. You can't really have a good run game if you don't give credit to your linemen. And I think these guys have definitely helped out Wilmore and Abrams in the past.
Yep, Wilmore up on his feet now. Looks like he's getting helped to the sideline there, and he took a tough hit there. But yeah, great start though for Newberry's offense. So we will get back to action here. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Ball on the Chapin 15-yard line, and let's see what Newberry dials up here.
And in the student section tonight for Chapin, the theme tonight is Gym Class Heroes, inspired by the great Jackie Moon from the Flint Tropics. Everyone is sporting their good sports gear, workout gear, and really getting riled up to see the Chapin Eagles.
Yep. And we see a change at running back here, number 33 for Kentrell Caldwell into the game at running back for Newberry.
It's going to be a snap handoff to the running back. Caldwell, he's going to get a good gain of about 5.
Yep.
And that's going to bring up about 2nd and 5 or 4.
Yep, gain about 5 or 6 there. Tackled down by a host of Eagles there. But good hole created there by the Newberry O-line. It'll be 2nd and 5 here for Newberry.
And they're inching closer and closer to that end zone. And definitely, if you want to hit those 6 points early on in the game.
Yep, huge getting early lead in this ball game. Such a big game night for both sides. Both sides trying to create momentum before we start region play.
And a good defensive play there by the Eagles.
Yep.
I believe that was number 34, James Wells, who led that tackle.
Yeah, it looked like it was number 34, James Wells, and number 54, Jacob Drag there on the stop for the Eagles. And it looks like it'll be a loss of 1 there for Caldwell. So it'll be 3rd and 5 now here for Newberry at the Chapin 10-yard line. Big 3rd down here for this Eagle defense. They need to make a stop right here. Yeah.
And here we go. We got the Bulldogs in the huddle, seeing what they can make out of this 3rd down at the 10-yard line of the Eagles.
Continue with this I formation look, and that's a look that Newberry's kind of been very well known for. Surprised, and that's why a shotgun surprised me so early for Newberry.
And here it comes Caldwell. He's moving and just shy of the end zone, but that's going to be a 1st and goal for the Bulldogs at about, I think, the 1-yard line, maybe 2.
Yep, Caldwell lost his helmet though on the play. It'll be 1st and goal here for Newberry. Ball looks like the 1.5-yard line there. Tackled down by James Wells and number 14, Connor Lehman.
And here comes Amari Wilmore back to the game as Caldwell comes out. Looks like everything's A-okay with him. That's good to hear from him.
That's huge and I mean, huge thing for Newberry. Look at how much clock has gone already in this 1st quarter. I mean, Chapin hasn't even had a chance to put out their offense yet.
That's great possession time for Newberry. We're about 2 minutes and 13 seconds until the end of the 1st quarter. And, yeah, as you said, Chapin hasn't even touched the ball.
Yep.
And here it comes. It's to Wilmore. And nope, no touchdown. That's great defense by the Eagles. He's going to be stuffed at the 1-yard line.
Yep, it'll be 2nd and goal here for Newberry. Wilmore stopped there, close to the goal line. And, yeah, continuing. This clock has been running very fast tonight. I mean, that's kind of what Newberry's style is. With them being a very run-first team, they like milking out that clock.
And it looks like they're going to set up in the I formation again. It's just going to be a quarterback sneak. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
Yep. It'll be a touchdown for Newberry, number 16.
Number 16, Jay Chalmers on the quarterback keeper on the sneak, and that's going to bring up the 1st points of the game. Newberry leading 6-0 with a minute 31 to go in the 1st quarter.
Yep. And they'll be looking to take the extra point here for Newberry. And number 92, Rodrigo Nava Munoz on to kick the extra point here for Newberry. Yep. Huge drive there for Newberry to start the game, and the extra point is good, and it is 7-0 Newberry over Chapin.
Very huge drive. As you said, they've winded down the clock significantly as we are almost done with the first quarter, but still a low-scoring game, 7-0. This is obviously not familiar with Chapin. Chapin's obviously come back from worse, referencing back to the Mid-Carolina game about 2 years ago when they were down by 11 points, came back to win with 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
But yeah, this is not the first time the Chapin team has faced adversity. Last week against Lugoff-Elgin was able to score on their first offensive drive, and Chapin was able to respond well last week. So let's see if that offense can respond well again with the pressure on.
Chapin definitely was a second-half team as it was very dry in the first half, but then they started putting points on the board and held off Lugoff-Elgin and deliver them that loss and move on to 2-0.
And yeah, the Chapin return team setting up here. Back to return for the Eagles. Number 87, Xavier Short, and number 19, Giovanni Macaluso, also known as the Jet for his kick return skills in the past.
Definitely got some legendary players here who we hate to miss here at Chapin. And it's a good boot there from the Bulldogs, and it's going to be returned at about the 8-yard line. And he's got a hole, and he's got room to run. And he's going. It's Gio the Jet.
Gio the Jet.
At the 15, the 10, the 5. Oh, just shy. And folks, that is why we call him Gio the Jet. A huge return as the Eagles respond quickly to that first drive from Newberry.
Huge start for Gio the Jet Macaluso, living up to his name right there.
Amazing return. Great block. I mean, there's no other way to describe that return. I mean, that's just pure fundamental block. That's pure fundamental return. There's nothing better you can ask, and it's a 1st and goal at the Newberry 5-yard line.
What a return by Giovanni Macaluso, and you see this crowd is hyped up now. Kind of drew to a low during that Newberry drive, but what a drive there. What a return by Giovanni Macaluso.
And in late comes number 69, Chase Swigart.
Yep, Chase Swigart, another Dutch Fork transfer right there. But yeah, it'll be 1st and goal here for the Eagles. Ball at the 5-yard line.
It's going to be a handoff to Cooper Evans as you run up, and it's a Chapin touchdown, and they're back in the game.
Cooper Evans there on the touchdown run for the Eagles, and now they're an extra point away from tying this ball game.
That's a great hole by the offensive line, and Chapin has answered dramatically quickly.
Yep, huge touchdown there for Cooper Evans, his 2nd touchdown of the season, and Chapin is an extra point away from tying this ball game. Alex Nelson on to attempt the extra point for the Eagles here.
Amazing short drive, but amazing as they've only taken about 15 seconds off that game clock as we were worried that they might eventually run out of time. But now we got a tied ball game with 1:14 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, and I mean, we all know the play that started that, the 85-yard kick return from Giovanni Macaluso. Gio the Jet is flying here in Chapin tonight.
Amazing return. As I said again, great blocks. He had a huge hole to run through and obviously took advantage of that. Great run. So 7-all, 1:14 to go in the first quarter here at Cecil Woolbright Stadium. If you're just now tuning in, we had a great return by Giovanni Macaluso that got down to the Newberry 5-yard line. And on the first play, handoff to Cooper Evans, number 33 for the Eagles for a touchdown. And a PAT good by Alex Nelson that ties the game up at 7. And here comes Alex Nelson to deliver the kickoff for the Eagles with just over a minute to go.
Yeah, but I mean, Gio the Jet Macaluso again with another big return. It's what he's become known for in Chapin is his big returns. And I mean, huge play there. I know that return team wanted a cheeseburger because that is the deal they get with Coach Chino is that cheeseburger if they score a kickoff return touchdown. But yeah, huge momentum shift now in Chapin, as now it's 7-7. Alex Nelson on to hit the kickoff here for the Eagles.
And here comes the kick. And it's going to be a good squib. And they're going to let it roll into the end zone for a touchback. So Chalmers and the Bulldogs for the offense rolls back out onto the field, and we're going to see what they might do here after Chapin gets a huge energy boost off those technically one offensive play and that big return play.
Yeah, and I feel this defense definitely got some energy now after seeing the return team and the offense be able to score quickly and giving them that confidence that maybe their offense can back them up a bit tonight. So, huge start for the Eagles offensively. And let's see if this defense can follow suit and make a big play here. It'll be 1st and 10 for Newberry, ball at their own 20-yard line.
It looks like Chapin might be showing some pressure here. Jake Watson on the edge. Oh, and here comes a flag. It might be an offsides or a false start.
Yeah,
Not sure who jumped first.
There'll be a false start here against Newberry. So it'll be a 1st and 15 here now for the Bulldogs, ball on their own 15-yard line. You can feel the momentum shift there off that big return by Macaluso.
Yeah, you read my mind right there, Pearson. I was just about to comment on how the momentum has definitely shifted from Newberry to Chapin. And here we take a quick timeout. So no time off the clock yet. We're still at 1:14. Chapin 7, Newberry 7. So far, Pearson, can you describe obviously what's real happened?
But yeah, I definitely Newberry has been very solid to start this game overall. Definitely was running the football. That is their main strength. And Chapin, though, with the huge special teams play there, and Cooper Evans getting an easy touchdown right there.
And now we're going to go to Mary Elizabeth with the interview with Mr. Ames.
Principal Ames, how's your first year at Chapin going so far?
It's wonderful. It's being back home. I was here 5 years ago and missed it every day I was gone, and now that I'm back, feels like I never left.
Thank you. Back to you guys. Sorry, it wasn't that great.
Here on the field. And here comes Newberry off that timeout. Chalmers has two to his right, one to his left. It's going to be a handoff to Wilmore. He's going to run to the right. He's got room to go. He sheds a tackle, sheds another. Taken down for a good gain, and he's going to move the chains.
Yeah, taken down by number 14, Connor Lehman there for the Eagles. And it'll be a bit first down. And quickly, Amaria Wilmore already looking like he's back to full strength after being injured in that earlier in the quarter.
That's very true. He looks like he's definitely well better after getting shaken up by Will Stogner on that tackle earlier.
Yep, it'll be 1st and 10 now for Newberry, ball on their own 31-yard line.
We now have 59 seconds on the clock. It's going to be a quarterback keeper by Chalmers. It's going to be a short gain of about 4 yards. Going to bring up about 2nd and 6.
Yep, it'll be 2nd and 6 coming up here for the Bulldogs, ball on their own 35-yard line. We see another switch with number 52, Jarrett Whitley, coming on the field for the Eagles. Look like he'll be playing nose on this play. But yeah, 2nd and 6 coming up here for the Bulldogs. Interested to see if Chalmers keeps it again, or if they go back to the run game with Wilmore, or maybe try to throw another pass. I mean, they've thrown 3 passes tonight, all been completions for decent gains. So.
And here comes the run. It's going to be up to Wilmore. Wilmore's got room to run, and he's got room, but he's going to be taken down by James Wells at about almost the 50-yard line. It looks like they're going to spot him at the 49 for Newberry territory. But either way, that's going to set up a first down for the Bulldogs.
Yep, and it will be 1st and 10 for Newberry, ball on their own 49-yard line. And it looks like we'll be running to the end of the first quarter here at Cecil Woolbright Stadium with our scores: Chapin 7, Newberry 7. And again, if you're just tuning in, I am Pearson Uncle Pete Wiley.
And I'm Hayden Skaggs.
And so far tonight, it's been a very even matchup so far tonight, but big play we got to talk about is Giovanni Macaluso's kick return that set up Chapin's first touchdown of the evening.
I think it's very ironic how we were praising him of his name, Gio the Jet. And right after that, he makes that huge return, 85 yards, I believe, and sets up for an easy one-play drive touchdown by Cooper Evans to tie up the game just after Newberry was punched in 7 earlier.
And yeah, as we see here on the screen, we are seeing the Chapin, looks like Chapin state champions are being recognized here tonight. Looks like the Chapin baseball team being recognized here tonight, who won the state title last year in baseball, headed up by Coach McLeod.
Yeah, Chapin baseball did a very good job. I believe they beat Airport for the state title.
Yep.
And it was in 2 games of 3. They won the first game at Airport, and they won the second game, which won the whole series right there on that baseball field. And to get that first championship since, I believe, 2002.
Yes, it was the first state title for Coach McLeod since 2002. and he has now got 5 state titles now.
That's like Tom Brady level of rings.
More like Bill Belichick for a
Oh,
coaching standpoint.
Well, that is true.
But
But
yeah,
either way, Coach Scott McLeod has definitely lived up a legacy here at Chapin, and we wouldn't be the same without him, and we're very thankful for him. Oh, fumble on the play. Chalmers got a keeper, and he's going to be downed. A huge loss. That's about, I believe that's about a 10-yard loss in the play.
Yeah, but it'll be
some miscommunication with the center and Chalmers.
yeah, but it'll be a 13-yard loss. Now it'll be 2nd and 23 coming up here for the Bulldogs. Huge miscue there, as all that yardage they gained on the last play before the end of the quarter is just gone. So,
Yeah. It's definitely been rough for Newberry. I think it's also frustrating for the coaching staff and for the offense trying to get stuff done, as you know, Chapin's obviously taking over with energy from the crowd and the players.
Yep, 2nd and 23 coming up here. Chalmers hands off to Wilmore.
Wilmore, and oh, he's gonna break a tackle. He's gonna break another tackle. He's got room to run, and he's gonna make up for that. He's gonna make up for that huge fumble, but either way, it's gonna bring up 3rd down and about 9.
Yeah, you see that bowling ball attitude there of Amare Wilmore there on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 9 for Newberry as he gets back past the original line of scrimmage, and you have 3rd and 9 for Newberry, ball on the 50-yard line, and I'm interested to see what Newberry will call here with Chalmers here on 3rd and 9.
I believe they're gonna try and give it to Wilmore again. Maybe get him a run to the right. Might be a pitch, or it might be a draw.
Yeah, they got 4 wide receivers out there though, 2 to both sides. Wilmore in the backfield, and they will.
And he's going to roll to his right. He's looking for a target, and it's a catch. Great catch there by number 10. Asara's good, the wide receiver.
Yeah, and yeah, Chalmers definitely had to get that off quick though, because Jacob Drag was coming in hot on him, but was able to get it off, and it'll be a 1st down for Newberry. Ball on the Chapin 39-yard line. Yep, huge play. Again, that passing game for Newberry so far is Chapin has struggled to stop it. I mean, 4 for 4 so far passing the ball tonight for Newberry. Yeah, Amore Wilmore will be back in the backfield here with 1st and 10. Ball on the Chapin 39-yard line.
And it's a low snap. Amore Wilmore with the carry. It's going to be taken down by number 54. I believe that's Jacob Drag. Yeah, that's right. Jacob Drag, who carries Wilmore back down.
Yep, and they'll give Wilmore, I think, forward progress. So it'll be down about the 37.5-yard line there. And it'll be 2nd and 8. 2nd and 8 coming up here for Newberry. Yep. Let's see if Chapin again can stop Amore Wilmore here on 2nd and 9.
Oh, Amore Wilmore's actually going to the sidelines. They're going to put him back number 33, Kentrell Caldwell.
Caldwell did have a couple of nice carries when Wilmore was out earlier, so let's see if maybe Caldwell can continue his start from earlier.
Oh, there's going to be a flag on the play. It might be delay of game or encroachment. I'm not sure.
I'm not 100% positive what the penalty is, but we'll see what we get here for the referee right here.
Let's see.
It'll be offsides on the offsides on Newberry.
Offsides on Newberry. Yeah, Newberry's definitely a little jumpy with Chapin. I think Chapin's defense has really got him, made the offensive line jump a little too early, and that's cost them twice now. That's their second penalty against the offense.
Yeah, it'll be 2nd and 14 coming up here for Newberry.
A little high snap this time. He's got time to run, and a great tackle. Oh, but he dodges it.
Breaks the tackle there, and he is taken down by number 34, James Wells.
I believe that was Will Stogner, number 16, who tried to take him down and originally had him, but he dodged that tackle.
Yep, and it'll now be 3rd and about 5 here for Newberry.
Oh, and we have trainers going to see a player on the sideline, so I believe they're going to call a timeout for him.
Yep. But yeah, it'll be 3rd and 4 coming up here for Newberry, ball on the Chapin 33-yard line. Let's see if this Eagles defense can make a huge stop here on 3rd down. With about 9 minutes left to go here in the 2nd quarter.
And they've got that injured player up on the field, and it looks like they're going to take him to the trainers. So hopefully it's nothing too serious for him.
Yep, 3rd and 4, big play here for Chapin's defense. They can make a stop here, that'd be huge. Get this defense off the field.
It's a high snap. He's going to hand off to Kentrell Caldwell. He's got room to run, and he's going to get a 1st down for the Bulldogs.
Yep, 1st down, and Chapin's defense just can't seem to get off the field, and that's going to be a thing that might hurt them later in this game, is that so far, the offense only provided one play. So this defense has been out on the field almost all game so far. So
I think they've definitely been pretty gassed, but it's a good thing that Gio the Jet really saved them from getting too drained for people playing on both sides of the ball, like Garrett Hike, who's playing left tackle tonight for the Eagles, as he's been spending most of the time playing defensive end.
yep, 1st and 10 coming out here for Newberry, ball on the Chapin 25-yard line.
Caldwell with the carry, and he's gonna be, I believe, marked down for forward movement. He's eventually taken down, but they're gonna spot him a little further up.
Yeah, they'll spot him about the 21-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 6 coming up here for Newberry, ball on the 21-yard line of Chapin.
I think it was Jarrett Whitley who led that tackle there, number 52 for the Eagles defense.
Yep. And number 44 coming off the field for Chapin, that is Dylan King, the linebacker. Yep, but yeah, let's see if James Stevens can maybe stop this Newberry offense, because so far they've struggled tonight. I mean, definitely if I was the defense, I'd be gassed right now, though. You've been on the field for an exception of 2 plays tonight, so.
That's going to be a run to the right. It's going to be a quarterback keeper. Caldwell on the carry. Gets a decent gain, but not a first down.
Yep, it'll be about 3rd and 4 coming up here for Newberry. Ball around the 19-yard line, and Chapin needs to make a stop here on 3rd down. They need to get this defense off the field. They've got to be gassed early in this ball game.
They tackled by a host of Eagles on that play. Couldn't see who got there first. And here comes the crowd. They're getting really wild and riled up.
Yeah,
3rd down. They enter the red zone.
You see the big D-line look coming in here for Chapin as they bring on both Justin Gooding and Connor Law into the game. It'll be 3rd and 4 coming up here.
And here they go with that I formation. Looks like it might be going to Kentrell Caldwell. It is. He's going to go to the left. And
Definitely
he's going to be short. It's
Yeah.
going to be 4th down and short. Great play by the defense right there.
But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Newberry, though, goes for it again. They went for it earlier on 4th down. It'll be 4th and 2 cut up here for Newberry. Ball on the Chapin 17-yard line. You see Jarrett Whitley running on here for the Eagles. Taking off Connor Law here. And this is a big play coming up here for this. It'll be timeout, actually. We have a timeout on the field.
And there's going to be a timeout called. So Newberry definitely coming back after that big wave of energy going towards the Eagles. After that, again, huge return by Gio the Jet Macaluso. And that one play by Cooper Evans that put the Eagles up on the board to tie the game. But Newberry is definitely coming back. I definitely see good run game still going by Wilmore and also Kentrell Caldwell, the backup. Both been playing exceptionally well. Offensive line making big blocks, but also looking at Chapin. They've been doing great on the defense. Haven't been letting a lot of plays going into the secondary. Although I do feel like they've got to be gassed at some point. They've been playing for almost about 20 minutes straight, at least game clock-wise. They've been spending most of the time on defense instead of on offense, so they don't really have a time for a breather. But they still look pretty excited, and they're ready to get this game on the road as here comes Chapin's defense back on the field.
Yep, it'll be 4th and 2 cut up here for the Bulldogs. Ball on the Chapin 17-yard line. This is a big play for this defense. Get off the field, hopefully get a little bit of a breather here. But yeah, and you see Wilmore's back in the game here for Newberry.
And they're going to set up in that I formation. It's going to be, and there's a flag down. And this is against Newberry. This is going to be huge.
Yeah, if it is against the Bulldogs, that's a huge penalty, and Newberry may change their strategy here.
I have a feeling it's false start.
Offsides on Newberry.
Offsides on Newberry. That's number 3 now.
Yep, 3rd penalty of the game for the Bulldogs offensively. That a false start and 2 offensive offsides, which you don't see a lot of usually in high school football.
This is definitely hurting them, though, as I believe they could have made so many plays without those 3 penalties against them.
And definitely it's going to be a change of look here for Newberry. Instead of probably they're not going to will go away from the I formation here, probably go back to a more common shotgun look. And it definitely looks like it right here.
And I believe they're going to try and go with a pass game as they got another fumble snap. And it's a big fumble, and that's a big turnover for the Eagles.
Yep. That is
about a 20-yard fumble as Caldwell does recover the ball, but however, that's 4th down and it's a turnover, and the defense finally gets a break. And a huge break as well, might I add. And that really sets up well for the offense as they're almost in a Newberry territory.
Yeah, Billy, 1st and 10 for the Eagles, ball on their own 41. hopefully we get to see the offense for more than one play. I mean, it'll be a nice thing to only see it for one play. 'Cause I mean, hopefully a 59-yard touchdown, but I mean,
here we go, the first legitimate drive for Chapin tonight.
Yeah, and you
As
see
we got-
Padroni's on his own, and they're going to go with a jet sweep here.
And a decent gain there as Padroni hands off that ball to number 7, Trey Lyles.
Yep, looks like it was it was Padroni was alone in the backfield, and Lyles came in on the jet sweep, and it'll be 2nd and 8, 2nd and 7, 2nd and 8 coming up here for the Eagles, ball on their own 44-yard line. And yeah, I expect to see a lot of tempo tonight from Chapin. They're very well known for their tempo play, so try to tire out this Newberry defense quick.
It's going to be the same play. Jet sweep off the Trey Lyles. He's got room to run. He sheds a tackle. He's to the 40, the 35, the 30.
And a mean stiff arm there by Lyles when he was going out of bounds. And it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Eagles, ball on their own 31-yard line. A huge hole created there for Lyles by that Chapin O-line. Looked like left tackle Garrett Hike created a nice hole there on the left side of the line, and it'll be a 1st down for the Eagles.
You got to give Hike some credit now. As I've said, he's been playing both sides of the ball. That man's got to be tired at some point.
I mean, Garrett Hike is a man. He is the constant engine, though. He is one of the best conditioned players on this football team.
A snap by Padroni. He looks back. He's going to throw to Jalen Thomas. Oh, and just overthrown.
Yep, he was looking for Jalen Thomas there, just overthrew him by about a couple yards there, and it'll be 2nd and 10 coming up here. And I mean, one question mark I think so far for Chapin this year has been their O-line, and so far with the first couple plays tonight, that O-line has looked very good so far tonight. I wonder if it's some changes that have been made or what really Chapin has done, but so far their O-line has looked a lot better tonight. And I credit that to Coach Thomas there coaching up that O-line. Yep,
And it's a
will
good
take the
handoff to Cooper Evans, who's got some room to run, and he gets the 1st down. The chains are going to be moved, and he gets into the red zone.
Yep, 1st and 10 for Cooper Evans. Ball at the Newberry 15-yard line. Good hole created that right side of the line there by the right tackle, Thornton Gentry there.
Josh Taylor with a big block, too, as he came off from center and got that big block to let Cooper go through that hole.
Yep, and I mean, the more mature side of this O-line, though, for Chapin is that right side. With Thornton Gentry, John Michael Jenny all being starters last year.
Here comes that screen, and it's Gio the Jet Macaluso with another catch. And that's going to be a good gain and bring him about 2nd and I think about 4. And they're definitely making big moves.
And Chapin playing that tempo game like we talked about. Very well known for their fast-paced style of play. And early Chapin offensively, Newberry looks drained already, and they've barely had any defensive plays so far.
I mean, the thing is, you've got depth issues with Newberry. As you can see, this Chapin bench is almost filled, and Newberry is not really the same way. Oh, there's a fumble on the play. Oh no. I believe Newberry has the ball. Yep. The ref signaled it. Newberry has recovered.
Yep, Lyles fumbled there on the play. Good tackle there by the Bulldogs and causing the fumble to come loose by Lyles. And that is a big break for that Newberry defense because, I mean, Chapin was marching down the field, but huge fumble created by that defense and, yeah, huge turnover for Newberry.
Great play by Newberry. And now it sets up 1st and 10, but however, they're at their own 10-yard line. Or correction, 15-yard line.
No, it's 10.
Oh, it is 10. My bad.
Yep, it'll be 1st and 10 from their own 10-yard line. And this Chapin defense got to stay hyped up right here. And I mean, as we see the different styles of play, Newberry likes to run down that play clock, while Chapin just doesn't like seeing any play clock being ran.
And here comes Wilmore, who's just running through the defense, gets a good gain.
Yeah, and he was able to break about a good 2 or 3 tackles before being tackled down by about 4 or 5 Eagles there, down at about the 18-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 2 coming up here for the Bulldogs. Yep. Let's see if Newberry continues chewing up the clock here. That's their style of play. They like to chew up that clock. They like to run the ball a lot. Kind of what USC used to ran with Connor Shaw. Kind of that style of play almost. It's kind of like running out the clock a lot.
That's definitely an effective strategy if you want to beat your opponents, just beat them with the clock.
Yeah, but it's definitely a good strategy to use. And it'll be a 1st down there for the Bulldogs. Wilmore will just power through and get the 1st down. Tackled there by number 53, Jake Hames. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Ball at their own 20-yard line. Let's see if Newberry continue this run offense that they've been running so well tonight. But I mean, also, you got to look at the past game so far. Newberry has not thrown incompletion to start this game.
And speaking of time, we're almost out of the first half. We got about 3 minutes and 47 seconds to go. And it's going to be a play option. He's going to look deep. And it's, just missed. No flags, great coverage.
Yep, great coverage downfield there by the Eagles.
Intended receiver was Ahmad Willis, who was just bobbled out. I believe that was Taylor Lehman with the good defensive coverage.
Yeah, I think Sam Beckett also was back there for the Eagles. And it will be 2nd and 10 coming up here for Chapin.
That would have been
for Newberry, sorry.
That would have been big for Newberry, getting that big gain and really chipping into Chapin's defense.
Yep, I mean, they're first time we've seen really play action at all tonight from Newberry, and that's really a first deep pass they've thrown. But Chapin did very well to read that deep pass and was not able to let the Newberry receiver get away from that defense.
And it's going to be a pitch to the right. Willis with the carry. He's met immediately by a host of Eagles.
Yep.
Dante Cherico, I believe, was the first one to get there, though.
No, it was Sam Beckett was first one there for the Eagles.
Correction, Sam Beckett with the tackle.
Yep, and it'll be 3rd and 10 for Newberry, ball on their own 20-yard line. And Wilmore stopped, really, I think, for one of the first times tonight there on the play. He's been consistently getting positive gains, but on that play just stopped at the line by Beckett and a couple other Eagles there. And it'll be 3rd and 10 for Newberry. Yep.
And we're just now taken down to about 3 minutes left of the first half.
I mean, Newberry just loves to run out the clock, and you see they're going shotgun here with 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right.
And it's another fumbled snap. Picked up by Wilmore, and he's going to throw it, and he makes something out of it.
Yep.
And they do get a positive gain.
Yep, Chalmers was able to get it out to Wilmore, but only a gain of about 2 there. And now it'll be 4th and 8 coming up here. Let's see if Chapin maybe calls a timeout here to try to conserve some clock. And, yep, they will call a timeout right here with
2:36 to go on the clock until halftime. I think they definitely need to talk to the center. I believe the center's number 65, Raekwon Ruff. Him and Chalmers have been having some issues. That's fumble number 3. That the previous fumble before that cost them big. It was about a 20-yard fumble recovered by Chalmers. However, it was a turnover on downs as that was 4th down.
Yeah, it was a big break again for that Eagles defense. It looked like Chalmers this time just dropped it. He just dropped it, which the past 2 have been over his head at, and he looked like he had no shot of catching it. But this time, he just bobbled the snap in. Again, another big break for the Chapin defense as another miscue. Snapping the ball leads to, well, Chapin's punt return team coming out here with number 19, Gio, the Jet Macaluso, and number 7, Trey Lyles, back deep to return the punt.
And also, on this snap at least, it wasn't necessarily just, a loss. They did make something out of it, but it's didn't really help him in the end. As you said, a pickup of 1 or 2 at the most and brings up 4th down. And I believe this is the first punt for Newberry for tonight.
Yep, and on to punt for Newberry is number 42, Maurice Hughley, who we saw earlier playing fullback, and is also the punter for Newberry.
And there's a flag on the play.
I think this might be delay of game here on the Bulldogs.
We'll see. We're going to go to the officials here.
So look, play clock's down to 0, so I think it is delay of game unless Newberry called a timeout. Yep, and it'll be delay of game on the Bulldogs, and that'll be 4th and 13 from their own 17. And now Chapin maybe goes for the punt block here. Maybe you can get a block cover in the end zone for a touchdown here.
Now the real question is, do we see more of Gio the Jet on this on the second return?
I think there's a potential to see it, but I've not seen how Newberry's really punted the ball yet. So I'm interested to see if maybe they get a good boot here with a lot of hang time, and that is a good punt there. And Lyles will return it.
Someone lost their helmet, and that was number 1, Josh Mathias.
And Chapin will have great field position to start this drive. It'll be 1st and 10 on the Newberry 41-yard line, as it was not a very long punt there. Had a good bit of hang time, but Lyles was able to return it to the 41-yard line. But yeah, 1st and 10 coming up here for the Eagles. Ball in the Newberry 41. Padroni in the backfield with Thomas to his left. 3 wideouts to his left and 1 to his right. But yep, 1st and 10 coming up here. Padroni is in the gun, and he rolls out to his left.
Oh, he's got a keeper. Oh, nope, he's got to throw it. Catch to Jalen Thomas, a great stability. Keeps both feet in and gets the catch just shy of the 1st down, however.
Yeah, good roll out there by Padroni. He was able to get a 9-yard pass there. It'll be 2nd and 1 coming up here for the Eagles. Ball in the Newberry 32-yard line. Thomas will wisely step out of bounds to stop the clock here.
And you also know that Roger Padroni and Jalen Thomas are both Irmo transfers, so I think they really got some great chemistry together, and they already know well about each other for playing wise. Padroni with a good fake there, and it's going to be caught, and for a first down by number 4, Michael McNeil.
Yeah, Michael McNeil on the catch there for the Eagles.
Oh, I think they're going to rule it incomplete.
Looked like he caught it there, but
yeah, they're going to rule it incomplete. I thought he caught it as well.
Yeah, I did not see it hit the ground.
But it looks like they're going to rule it a 3rd and 1.
Interested to see what Chapin calls here. May power it through with Tyson Thomas here on 3rd and 1. Or maybe we see maybe a QB keeper here for Padroni. Very well known for his running ability, Padroni. So it'll be 3rd and 1 coming up here.
Looks like he's going to throw it, and it's caught.
Caught by number 81, Jason Graves, the senior. And it'll be 1st and 10 coming up here for Chapin.
Very impressed with the pass game for Chapin tonight. As we said, we definitely did want to see that for them tonight. And I think that's definitely been answered with multiple pass completions to Thomas, Graves. We thought what we thought was Michael McNeil, but that turned out to be incomplete.
Yeah, but I mean the huge thing is they're going like the out route style of pass, so they're getting right out of bounds, keeping some clock on. Padroni flushed out of the pocket,
and he's got time. Touchdown Eagles!
Number 81, Jason Graves on the touchdown grab. What a throw by Padroni on the run.
Wide open, great route by Graves. Great read by Padroni. Perfectly placed. No better way to run that play.
The senior Jason Graves, his first touchdown catch of the season, and Chapin is an extra point away from making this a 14-7 lead. A 28-yard touchdown pass from Roger Padroni to number 81, Jason Graves.
Wow, and as we said, Chapin's been used to this. Last week Lugoff Elgin had that 7-0 lead, and Chapin came back. And look at it now, 14-7, Chapin with the lead. 1:59 to go in the first half, and Chapin has definitely came back and starting to take control of this game.
And if you're Coach Gentry, you got to be happy about how this offense has played so far tonight. 3
yeah.
drives and 2 touchdowns and 1 fumble inside the red zone. Chapin honestly could be up 21-7 so far in this game. They have played very well offensively tonight, and that is huge because that's been one of the question marks all year has been how well this offense can play, and tonight they've looked very good tonight.
And I definitely think it could be, just the jitters of playing at home. Trey Lyles, being new, not really used to playing at home, could have maybe been the reason for him fumbling. But regardless, Chapin does take the lead. And now we got Alex Nelson with the kickoff. Newberry ready to receive.
And you saw Alex Nelson there. He actually kicked the extra point in onto the top of the field house, which is definitely a tough feat to complete there.
I mean, I got to feel bad for those janitors or whoever has to go get it later.
Usually it would be West Hiller, actually, who has to go pick it up after the game, but we'll see what happens tonight. But it is 14-7 coming up here, and Nelson's on to take the kickoff here for the Eagles. 3 men back deep for the Bulldogs. Let's see if they continue the squib attack or...
And a great boot by Nelson. That they're going to take that for a touchback. Brings up the Bulldogs to the 25-yard line.
Yep, 1st and 10 up here for Newberry.
Now
Ball on their own 20-yard line.
I definitely think the goal for Newberry is to tie the game if they can with that run game from Wilmore, or find a good passing route to number 4, Devontae Ruff, or number 10, Asaris Good, who have both made pretty good completions for tonight and kept the drive alive for Newberry.
And the thing Newberry's got to think about, Chapin gets the ball to start second half too, so you really need to get points right here. Because if you don't get points on this drive, Chapin could potentially be up 21-7 to start Newberry's first drive in the second half.
And it looks like Chalmers he's got room, but he's got taken down by Jacob Drag.
Drag on the sack there. Whitley brought in the first pressure, but Drag was able to tackle him down for a loss of about 1 or 2 there on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 11 coming up here for the Bulldogs. Ball on their own 19-yard line.
You can definitely see the motion is starting to dry out for Newberry. They're just starting to make careless mistakes that they can easily fix.
Yep, and I mean, good pressure there from the Eagles on both ends. Jarrett Whitley was able to get through quick on that left side, and then Drag was able to finish it off on the right side. And it'll be 2nd down coming up here for Newberry.
It looks like they might do a screen. Nope, Chalmers is going to run. He's got room. It's going to be, oh, just almost intercepted. Bobble from Amaris. Asaris Good.
Yep, and number 14, Connor Lehman there, just went over his head and looked like he could have possibly made a pick there. And now it'll be 3rd and 11 coming up here for Newberry. Ball on their own 19-yard line with 1:12 left to go. And there is an injury on the field, though. It is number 10 for Newberry.
Asaris Good.
Yep. Yep, it'll be 3rd and 11 coming up here for the Bulldogs. Ball on their own 19. And if they can't get points on this drive, if Chapin get another drive here, potentially put more points on the board, that would be huge.
That would be. So looking back, though, on that big drive, that big catch by Jason Graves, first touchdown for the senior season, what do you think was Chapin's success to getting that extra 7 points?
I mean, Padrone was able to scramble out of the pocket and threw it. He actually threw it off his back foot, which is a tough talent that needs to be mastered by a quarterback in order to potentially make it to the next level into college. And he threw it off his back foot, and that was a pretty pass to Graves, who was wide open actually in the end zone. And I mean, Chapin now are up 14-7 because of it. And
Asaris Good on the field now, getting helped off by the trainers. We hope he makes it off okay.
Yep. And now it'll be 3rd and 11 coming up here for Newberry. And I'm intrigued to see what Newberry thinks of doing here, because Chapin only has 1 timeout. So maybe Newberry tries to run down the clock here. Maybe try to put this thing in the hat. If they can get a first down here, maybe they try to score here. If they can't get a first down, I would assume they would probably try to run out as much clock as they can, because they just want to go to half if they can't score.
And it's going to be handoff to Wilmore.
And he
is
is
going to get met immediately. Great run there by the Eagles.
Great defense
And
there.
a helmet flies off, too. And I think that's Wilmore's helmet. Yep.
Yep, and now it'll be 4th and 8, 4th and 7 coming up here.
And Wilmore's forced to come off, as the rules say if your helmet flies off, you have to set out at least a play. So I believe they're going to put in Kentrell Caldwell, maybe. Oh, and a timeout is called, actually.
Yep, it'll be 4th down, and Newberry, I assume, would punt it away right here on 4th down. Eagles will actually have a shot to potentially score again for the end of the half.
I think what they might do, though, they might just run out the clock. You got 58 seconds, and, I mean, you're up. I don't really see a reason to, unless you want to get that security, get that 14-point lead. But, I mean, if I was a coach, I'd probably just say try and kill the clock and let it go to the end of the quarter.
Yeah, you don't want to risk a turnover late in this half. And the other thing is, Chapin gets to start with the ball second half too. So I mean,
you definitely have a lot to play with here.
Yep, and you see Macaluso and Lyles back deep again here for the Eagles, with 58 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. And we have a fan watching from Fort Indiantown Gap, Pennsylvania. That is Troy Skaggs. Thank you for tuning in to CSPN Live here tonight.
That happens to be my father, and I'd like to thank you for tuning in, even if you can't make it here, Dad. Just know that you've always got an output to watch Chapin football here for Friday Night Lights.
Yep, Macaluso will fair catch the ball down to the 47-yard line. So let's see. I mean, Chapin's got in great field position, so I'd be surprised if they don't try to put some points up right here. I mean, because if Newberry gets the ball back, they're not going to be in the best field position unless Chapin fumbles it right here. Or if they throw a pick and it's an interception with a long return here. But I think Chapin, you try to get points, try to get a bigger lead going into half. Maybe see a lot of short out routes, kind of what Padrone was starting earlier before he threw the bomb to Graves.
Definitely a great run there by Chapin's drive. And Padrone's going to roll, and I believe it's going to be called as a catch.
Yep, it is caught there by Jason Graves along the sideline.
Definitely been making some good plays on the passing route.
Yep, and he'll get out of bounds too, which will stop the clock at 42 seconds left to go. And the ideal field goal range for Alex Nelson will probably be starting right around the 30-yard line, because Alex Nelson at times has been able to hit 50-yard field goals in the past. So.
But do you think they're going to put in the West Hiller to make a kick?
I don't think so. Alex Nelson's a senior. He's been a very fine kicker for this Chapin Eagle program. And Padrone pressured out, and he was rolling out of the pocket, and he's got to get rid of the ball. And he will, but that could potentially be an intentional grounding, actually.
I think he just made it out. Yeah, there's the flag. Might be something late, though.
Yep, we have no idea what. I think it could be intentional grounding, though no receiver was in the area there.
Intentional grounding.
Yep. And yeah, you just can't throw it into somewhere where no one's at. He's got to throw it to that sideline if he can't find anyone there. Because I think he actually did get out of the tackle box for a sec, but then he ran back in when he was scrambling around, trying to figure out how he's going to get rid of that ball. But now it'll be third and about 14 coming up here for the Eagles. Ball in their own 49. Let's see what Coach Gentry calls here with 35 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. Yep, third and 14 coming up here. Pedroni's got 3 wide receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Thomas in the backfield to his left as well.
And third and long here for the Eagles. He's going to take the snap. He's going to look long. He's got room to run. He's going to be caught by Jalen Thomas. Nope. Correction, going to be marked incomplete.
Yep, was looking for Thomas but could not get the pass off to him. I'd assume probably a punt coming up here. Yep, and then the punt tee will be coming on. Alex Nelson will punt it away here for the Eagles. Yep, and tough drive there for the Eagles offense, but
he can't really take that much of his loss because, I mean, Chapin is getting the ball for the second half. So it's not really that big of a loss for them. It's more just running out the clock, and they do have the lead, so I don't think they've really got too bad from that drive, but definitely would have liked to get something positive out of it, but not in this case. Great job by Newberry's defense.
Yep. A good punt there from Nelson. And that punt will be down at
oh, wow. Great.
Inside the 5-yard line. Great punt there from Alex Nelson.
About the 2-yard line. Great punt.
I assume Newberry probably will just try and make sure he doesn't get tackled for a safety, and they'll go to half.
You got 15 seconds left on the game clock now.
Yeah, great punt there from Alex Nelson. I think that was a 49-yard punt on the play. No return, down at the 2. And now Newberry will have it at their own 2-yard line. I assume Newberry just try to milk the last 15 seconds out of this clock and go to half.
The Bulldogs are trying to brew something up with the coach there as here comes Chalmers.
Yep,
trying to get a hurry-up offense.
I assume they're probably just going to try to run it out, make sure they don't get tackled for a safety. If they try to throw a pass, I'll be very shocked here on the play. Yep, and you see here, yeah, it looks like they're just, looks like maybe trying to go for a knee or QB sneak here. Yep, and they'll just run for a QB sneak here, and they'll just run out the clock here in the second quarter. And going to the half, Chapin will be up 14-7 over the Newberry Bulldogs.
And just a few remarks on this first half. I mean, you definitely see Chapin has definitely striked well after Newberry got that first 7. Jason Graves with that good catch from Roger Pedroni, and also Cooper Evans after that big run by Gio Macaluso to get the first touchdown.
Yeah, a couple of big plays so far that Chapin offense, and Chapin's offense is just so far has been clicking so far tonight, and that's huge.
I think a good word for them is discipline. Like kind of like the way it is like in the military. Military, they have to follow strict guidelines, and I think that's what Chapin's offense has been really sticking to. And speaking of military, shout out to all of our military members who are currently watching our stream right now, deployed or not. We'd like to thank you for your service to our great country, and we hope you get back here safe if you are deployed.
Agreed, definitely. And as we go to half here, Chapin is up 14-7, and so far in this first half, that Chapin offense was huge, and the question is, how will Newberry respond second half after really having all the momentum to start at the end of the first quarter, and then since then, Chapin's dominated.
So closing up for this first half, again, Chapin up by 7, but we still have a half of a game left.
We'd also like to shout out Jared Kerner, who is watching right now from the Citadel. And, we have a lot of former Chapin students at the Citadel right now. A few former football players. Example, Jared Kerner. Other examples, Charlie LaRosa. And our other former Chapin football family. And we hope you all are doing well and surviving the Citadel.
Yeah. And my brother, as I mentioned earlier, he is in the military, also a Chapin alumni, who's been definitely keeping up with Chapin football and baseball, as he played baseball for Chapin Eagles, who had a great run. He played from the 2012 to 2013 season for Coach Scott McLeod. So definitely shout out to him and also all the other military members who serve and protect our great country. So we will see you eventually as we wrap up this first half. My name's Hayden Skaggs.
And I'm Pearson Uncle P. Wiley.
And you're watching CSPN Live.
And we are back here for the second half here at Cecil Woolbright Stadium, and Newberry's prepared to kick off here. Chapin is up 14-7, and I'm ready to see the second half and see how Newberry responds to Chapin taking all the momentum away in the end of the second quarter.
So far, to recap, basically what happened was Newberry had a really long drive that lasted about almost the first quarter. They ended up punching in 7. Chapin responds back quickly. Chapin responds back quickly with a touchdown and then another touchdown, which was a pass to Jason Graves. And now we're going to go down to Jared with the interview with Coach Bailey.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Coach Bailey, the QB coach. Coach, how do you think your team is doing so far, and how do you think y'all can improve?
I think we played pretty well in the first half. We got to capitalize on the opportunities that we get with the football. At halftime is critical. You go in and make adjustments, kind of see what they're doing, anticipate what they're going to do in the second half. And, you make the adjustments and get your kids to buy into what you're trying to do and execute, take care of the football, and win the football game.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
Back to you guys.
And we're back up here in the press box. And it's a quick run by Chapin, and he's still going. I think that was Padroni. It was Padroni on the keeper. A great gain, just shy of the first down.
I think he may have gotten it there, actually.
He did get the first down.
Yeah, good call there. It looked like, at first I thought it was a jet sweep, but it looked like a read option jet sweep there. It turned into a first down for the Eagles. Thank you to Jared for that interview with Coach Bailey.
Definitely good to see the rookies getting used to the atmosphere here at CSPN. We definitely notice a huge increase in numbers this year, and it's great to see that more people are willing to come out here and commit to broadcasting sports and maybe even finding a future career in broadcasting in general. This is a great way to start.
You see a handoff there to Thomas, and Thomas breaks out, and he is...
Oh, he's still running!
And he is tackled down at the 44-yard line. What a run there by Tyson Thomas.
Great run. Great hold by the offensive line on that right wing. As you said earlier, was very matured. That block by Josh Taylor there on your screen really helped get that hole. It's going to be a fake screen, and Tyson Thomas tackled for a loss.
Yep, Chapin tried to play up tempo there. Looked like they really weren't set offensively, and Thomas stopped in the backfield. We'll get a gain of 0 on the play.
Number 22, Craig Austin for the Bulldogs on the tackle there on Thomas. And now it brings up 2nd and 10 for the Eagles as they're looking for a new play. Padroni's got two receivers to his left, one to his right. It's going to be a motion by Lyles. And a handoff up the middle to Tyson Thomas, and met immediately by the Bulldogs.
Yep, Newberry with a gang tackle there. Looked like Hunter Deaton did not do a good job there on his assignment there, and he was tackled down at about the 45-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 11 coming up here for the Eagles at the Newberry 45-yard line. And I mean, I was curious to see how Newberry's energy was going to be after struggling late in that first half. And after allowing the big game of Thomas, though, they've done very well at stopping this Chapin offense.
And now it brings up a big 3rd down here for the Eagles. We got a motion here, and Padroni's going to roll right. It's an immediate blitz, and Padroni's sacked. And this is some big energy coming from Newberry.
But yep, now it'll be 4th down. It looks like it'll be a punt coming up here for the Newberry. But yeah, it'll be a punt coming up here. Alex Nelson back to punt here for the Eagles. They'll be punting from their own 43-yard line. Last punt Nelson had pinned Newberry at their own 2-yard line. So let's see if Nelson can continue with his good punting on the night.
And here comes the punt for Nelson. Takes his time at a great boot. And it's gonna settle down, and another great punt. Earlier before the first half ended, Nelson had a great boot that landed right at the 2-yard line of Newberry. And that eventually ended to the end of the first half.
Yeah.
But now we see Chalmers coming out on the offense.
Yeah, but now we'll go to our broadcast partner, Mary Elizabeth Piper, with an interview.
Okay. Thanks, guys. I'm here with the superintendent, Dr. Melton. Hi, Dr. Melton. How is your first year being superintendent going?
Oh, wow. It's hard to believe it's already September, but we're off to a great start. I want to say congratulations and thank you to all of our students. If you didn't know, we have the best faculty and staff in the entire state. So here at Chapin High School, I want to pause to celebrate the teachers and the staff because they make my job so much easier.
Thank you. Back to you guys. Thank you so much.
Okay.
We are back here after that interview from Mary Elizabeth. Thank you for that interview. And they'll be second down coming up here for the Bulldogs. Ball on their own 15-yard line.
So earlier on that play, Wilmore had a great gain. Got that about second and short, about second and 1 to the first down. Bulldogs starting to chip down to that Chapin energy that came up big during the second quarter.
And again, Alex Nelson there had a 51-yard punt, and now he's averaging 50 yards per punt, which is very impressive.
And Wilmore just running through the Eagles defense. And a big first down gets to about the Newberry 30.
He was tackled down there by number 10, Sam Beckett. And now be first and 10 coming up here for the Bulldogs. Ball on their own 30-yard line. And again, let's see if they can go back to Wilmore here. Some big carries here for this. Yep, it'll be first and 10 coming up here. Ball on the 30-yard line for Newberry. Yep, they'll be lined up in the I formation coming up here. Wilmore will be in the backfield. And it's a fullback run there.
And he's off to the races.
Man.
That was a great run by a big boy, number 20, KT Robinson.
Another thing Newberry's very well known for, having good fullbacks that can just power through when they need it and getting those big yards. And Wilmore, you can see there, having to stretch out there for a second, maybe cramping up, as it is a hot night here in Chapin.
Yeah, I would definitely say KT Robinson is not an easy target to take down immediately. If he's running full force, you better have something better to take him down. Newberry off that I formation. They're going to fake, or no, correction, they are going to hand it off to Wilmore. Wilmore's not going to get that far as the host of Eagles bring him down. Great read there by the Chapin defense.
Yep, it'll now be 2nd and 7 coming up here for the Bulldogs. Ball at the Chapin 41-yard line. And some first half stats that we failed to mention at the half. Newberry had 143 total yards at the half. Chapin only 96, but the big thing about it is Chapin only had 14 plays while Newberry had 39 in that first half. That defense from Chapin definitely had to be worn out, but they were able to make some big stops late in drives, and Chapin was able to score quick offensively too. So,
I mean, that's pretty big. You know, you got 39 plays, and out of 39, they've only scored 1 touchdown. That's pretty impressive defensively. And Wilmore just running through that defense, but then eventually gets bring down. I believe that was number 44, who initially started the tackle for Chapin, Dylan King, the sophomore.
And yeah, Wilmore at the half had 73 yards rushing. He's probably close to about 80, I would say, now in the second half. And the leading rusher tonight so far for the Eagles has been Trey Lyles with 27 yards. Cooper Evans also with 21. We saw Tyson Thomas get a couple carries in that first drive of the second half. And the leading receiver right now for the Chapin Eagles is Jason Graves with 4 catches for 33 yards and a touchdown.
Definitely a good offensive show for passing for Chapin, as I said earlier. Newberry has tried the pass game. They did try a deep target to number 10. Cyrus Good, but that was pass that was incomplete. And a first down. Newberry is really starting to chip away at Chapin's energy.
And Wilmore is able to power through there on that run. He ran over a couple Eagle tacklers there, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Newberry. Ball on the Chapin 27-yard line. And Wilmore's probably getting close to 100 yards now on the day. It'll be a second straight 100-plus yard game for Newberry.
That's definitely impressive for college coaches to look at him. It'd definitely be a good target to pick up.
The thing about it is he's a junior too, so he's got another year of varsity eligibility after this too. And
there was a little trick play there. They did a little sneak behind the back handoff to number 20, KT Robinson.
But he is stopped at the line, looked like by Jacob Drag there, leading the charge for the Eagle defense, and tackled by a couple other D linemen. And that's a huge stop there for Chapin, reading out that trick play. It looked like it was a fullback dive, which the quarterback did sell well to try. I think it was a toss, but good stop there by the Eagle defense. It'll be 2nd and about 9 coming up here. Ball at the Chapin 26-yard line.
It looked like it was going to be a pitch off to Kentrell Caldwell, but they got me thinking it was going to be that. This time it is going to be a handoff to Kentrell Caldwell. A decent gain. I'm going to bring up 3rd and about 3.
Yep, Kentrell Caldwell there on the run. Tackled down about just over the 20-yard line, and it'll be 3rd and about 2 coming up here for the Newberry Bulldogs with about 4:40 left here to go in the third quarter.
All right, and a big 3rd down here for both teams. They have entered the Eagles' red zone now, but now Will Newberry convert to tie up the game? That's the big question, as we are already getting close to the end of the third quarter with about 4 minutes and 22 seconds to go. And it's a handoff to Caldwell, and I don't know, he might not get it.
It's going to be close. Let's see what they decide, and I think it's going to be fourth
Yep,
down.
they're going to call fourth down and short.
Yep, fourth and short coming here for the Bulldogs. Probably to try to power it through here.
And a great play by the Chapin defense to hold it off. And now they're going to bring on Wilmore to the field, and I think all the starters, and push through for that first down.
And you see Chapin adding Garrett Hike on to add the extra D lineman to try to stop this look right here for Newberry. I assume probably it's going to be most likely a QB sneak, I would assume here.
Oh, it's going to go to Wilmore, and he's going to be met immediately,
But
but
he
Wilmore
breaks
breaks the
through.
tackle.
I think he's going to get it there.
He might get it.
I think he got a first down there. Yep, it'll be a first down for Newberry.
First down for Newberry. Very big for the Bulldogs there, keeping the drive alive.
I thought Chapin stopped behind the line, too.
And Wilmore does pretty good at that. He can definitely stay on his feet, get those feet chopping, and create more momentum to push through the Eagles.
Yeah.
And gets enough room to bobble that first down.
I definitely would like to know how many broken tackles Wilmore has on the day. I would assume in definitely the teens right now, because he's been breaking tackles left, right, and center tonight for the Bulldogs.
Looks like Bulldogs are going to set up in the I formation with two receivers to the right. It's going to be a handoff to Wilmore and a pretty big hole. He's got room to run, and he makes a stiff arm, walks into the end zone, touchdown Bulldogs.
Yep.
And now, folks, we have a game, and it's about to be a tied game here with a PAT upcoming.
Yeah, definitely Wilmore's just went over 1,000 yards if he wasn't already, and that is his first touchdown run of the game. And now that'll be his third touchdown run overall in the season. And as I said earlier tonight, Wilmore's going to be the key to Newberry's success, and there he is right there, getting a huge touchdown run.
And the kick is up, and it is good. So we have a tied game now. Your score, Chapin 14, Newberry 14. As we have about 3 minutes, just over 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Definitely a good wake-up call for Chapin and a good response for Newberry after definitely obviously getting tired in that second quarter. Chapin was definitely picking up the pace then, but now it's obviously switched. But we've seen this last time. Newberry had a good drive, a long drive, and Chapin responded right back immediately with a special teams return with Gio the Jet Macaluso, and then a Cooper Evans touchdown.
But the thing is, I think Newberry is scouted out very well, because you saw on that last kickoff to start the second half, Newberry actually kicked it short to avoid Macaluso. And maybe they try to kick it also to Xavier Short, who's in the back with Macaluso. And they're lined up right around the 10-yard line, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's another aired-out directional kick to make sure it does not go to Macaluso.
And now we see the kicker setting down the tee.
Yep, it'll be a kickoff here for the 40 for Newberry. Looks like number 92 for Newberry.
Rodrigo Navamunoz. And here comes the boot. And it's going to be a short jab. And that's going to go to Gio the Jet Macaluso, who makes a good return, but not a big one like last time. But they still get pretty good, decent advantage field-wise as it gets to about the 35-yard line for the Chapin Eagles.
Yep, decent return there for Macaluso. I thought they weren't going to kick it to Macaluso, but surprisingly they did, and Macaluso was able to get to 35, 36-yard line for the Eagles. And let's see if this offense can respond after struggling on that last possession.
With 2 minutes and 55 seconds to go, I think Newberry has definitely done a good job with winding down the clock and not really giving Chapin a lot of time to get some points on the board. Trey Lyles with a good reverse, and that picks up a good gain, maybe a first down, might be just short. Yeah, they're going to mark him just short of the first down. Going to bring him about 2nd and 1.
Yeah, I like the call here. Lyles was originally going to go on a jet sweep, but then he cut back towards the middle of the field and was able to find a nice hole and get about 9 yards there. And it'll be 2nd and 1 coming up here for the Eagles. Ball on their own 45-yard line. Padroni back at quarterback. Thomas to his left, with looks like a wide receiver, and Lyles to his right, and another wide out to his left.
That's going to be a handoff to, I believe, Tyson Thomas. And he spins off a tackle, but just gets tackled again.
And it's going to be a first down, though, for the Eagles. Thomas gets down to the 48-yard line of the Bulldogs. It'll be 1st and 10, Chapin, ball on the Newberry 48-yard line.
Malik Johnson with the tackle for the Bulldogs. That's going to bring him up. But, however, first down for the Eagles. And now we get the chains rolling, and so does the momentum.
Yeah, let's see if Chapin goes that up-tempo, very fast-paced look right now. Try to tire out that Newberry defense, who's definitely much better rested than this Eagle defense.
And a good block there. And Tyson Thomas has room to run. And a little more, a huge gain. And that's going to bring up another first down for the Eagles.
Yep, Thomas tackled down about the 30-yard line. Great hole created there by O-line. And Thomas with a couple very pretty spin moves there. And it's going to be an 18-yard gain there. It'll be 1st and 10 for Chapin. Ball at the Newberry 30. And you see up-tempo pace coming up here for the Eagles. And you see another run on the outside for Thomas. And he is tackled down right about the 22-yard line.
And a great turn of events for the Eagles. They started around the 36-yard line, and now they're about to enter the red zone for the Bulldogs to potentially take the lead again. With again, short time, but they still managed to fit in a quick 6.
Yeah, and Chapin, they're definitely now in field goal range, though, for Alex Nelson. So as long as they don't turn it over or lose a crazy amount of yards, they should be able to get points off this drive. Yep, it'll be 2nd and 2, though, coming up here for the Eagles.
And a good hole, but Tyson Thomas gets eventually swallowed up by number 33. I think Kentrell Caldwell, who plays linebacker as well, along with being a backup running back.
But it'll be a first down, looks like, there for the Eagles, though. 1st and 10 for Chapin. Ball on the Newberry 20-yard line with about a minute, with a little bit under a minute and 30 left to go here in this third quarter. You see Padroni looking for the call from the sideline right there. And Evans moves to his right. Looks like he's got a tight end and Lyles.
And looking for a pass play. It's going to be Thomas. No pass interference called. Great coverage there. That was number 2, Tylen Caldwell, the defensive back, who covered Thomas. Going to bring an incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 for the Eagles.
Yeah, you see Padroni try to throw that quick hot route there to Thomas, but just underthrew him. And it will be 2nd and 10 coming for Chapin. Ball on the Newberry 20-yard line. 2 wide receivers to the left of Padroni with a tight end, and Lyles to his right. Looking at the lineup as a tight end as well.
And it's going to be a sweep to Lyles. Lyles got room to run. He's going to throw stiff, but not a big gain. Going to bring up 3rd and about 6 for the Eagles. Yeah. Now, not too big of a loss here. As you said, this is Alec Nelson's field goal range. So whether or not they get in within this time range as we go in under a minute, Alex Nelson could get a quick 3 points and put the Eagles up before we head to the 4th quarter.
I agree with that. And the thing with Chapin there, though, I really think there is a hole going to be created, though, towards the middle of the field there, but Lyles decided to cut out to the side, and I don't think he read the hole as well as he should have there.
It's going to be a screen play caught by Macaluso, who bounces off a tackle. He's got room to run. He's at the 10, the 5. He gets out of bounds. That stops the clock and brings a 1st and goal for the Eagles. Great play by Macaluso, who almost gets tackled but avoids it and gets quite a good run out of it.
Yep, and it'll be 1st and goal coming up here for the Eagles. Ball on the Newberry 7-yard line. And Chapin probably going to try to get one quick playoff before the end of the third quarter here.
The clock's running down now. They got about 10 seconds.
Padroni back at quarterback with Thomas to his left. 3 wide receivers as well.
And he's going to hand off to Lyles. Lyles got room to run.
I think it was Thomas. No.
Oh, just shy. And they're going to call that for the quarter.
Yeah, Thomas tackled just shy of the goal line. It'll be about the half-yard line coming up here. And as we end the third quarter, the game is tied 14-14, but I don't think it'll be a tie much longer.
And now shortly we're going to have a quick interview with Chapin High School's new principal Mr. Ames.
Yep, and it's a very exciting time here for Chapin, a time of change as we go from the Dr. Ross era to the Mr. Ames era here at Chapin High School.
Mr. Ames has definitely been interested in the CSPN club, as he's always been present for the meetings that we've had in our sponsor for this year, Miss Huckabee's room. He's always been with us, and he's very interested in the program and the future of it, and we're very thankful for his support. And shortly we're going to have a little talk with him about the future of Chapin athletics and CSPN.
Yep, but as we go into this fourth quarter, Chapin right at the half-yard line coming up here. And, I mean, just a great drive here for the Eagles to respond at. I mean, Chapin's done very well responding to Newberry's touchdown drives. I mean, we had the big return in the Cooper Evans touchdown the first time Newberry scored. It looks like most likely we'll get points out of this drive as long as nothing bad happens here.
Maury Wilmore earlier in the third quarter got that game-tying touchdown. But as we enter the fourth quarter, it looks like Chapin might hopefully punch it in for 6 to take the 7-point lead, or assuming the PAT goes good, of course. And they're going to spot the ball at the 1-yard line, maybe even the half-inch yard line, as Tyson Thomas was just so close but didn't cross the line before the third quarter ended. So now as both teams are beginning to go to the ball, we hope to look for a good fourth quarter here and a good wrap-up of the game.
Yep, and it'll be start of the fourth quarter here, and Chapin gonna try to punch it in right here, try to get a touchdown lead in this game. Looks like both Loy and Thomas will be in at back this time out. First time we've seen Josh Loy really get a chance at possibly getting the ball. He is their power back, so I'm not surprised if they hand it off to Loy here.
And it's a touchdown, Eagles.
Yep. And touchdown there.
And there, the Eagles take the 6-point lead. I believe it was a Roger Pedroni QB sneak, and the offensive lineman pushed him in to make it a 20-14 lead, and an extra point on the way.
Yep, Alex Nelson on to attempt the extra point here for the Eagles, and trying to put it to a 7-point game. Huge drive there for the Eagles in response. Roger Pedroni was very great on that drive, as well as Tyson Thomas making a few huge runs on that drive. And Nelson.
And the kick is up, and it's good. Makes it 21-14 Eagles with 11:55 to go in the fourth quarter. So now, what I'm thinking for Newberry, what they might be doing, is I think Newberry is going to try and run the clock again, hopefully get a game-tying score. So that way they could potentially make it go into overtime, and we can get a little extra football here. But looking at Chapin, I think the key for them would probably be just to hold them out on defense and just take control of the clock themselves.
Yeah, I mean, Chapin's definitely got to try to hang on to this lead right here, and let's see if they can just hang on and try to win this game here tonight. And we are about to be joined here by Principal Ames.
Number 6, Alex Nelson, about to kick it off for to the Bulldogs.
How you doing, Mr. Ames?
I'm good. I'm a little out of breath from running up those stairs, but I'm excited to be here. How are we doing tonight up here?
Good. How about yourself?
Good. Enjoying a great football game tonight. Got ourselves a nail-biter fourth quarter. I'm excited.
So, Principal Ames, how have you enjoyed your first couple weeks here to start a school year here at Chapin High School?
I get to hang out with you guys. I got the best job in the world.
Yes,
I definitely think the pace has stayed the same and the energy stayed the same ever since we made the big transition. But I'm glad that the district made a good choice in choosing a new principal, and we're very happy to have you here, Mr. Ames.
Well, thank you for saying that. I really appreciate that. You know, Dr. Ross is not just a great principal. He's a great man. He's a good friend of mine. And just to be able to follow his path is truly an honor. To be able to do it at a place like Chapin High School, I mean, I can't tell you how proud and how blessed I feel.
So, Mr. Ames, let me ask you, what makes you so interested with the CSPN program?
It's an opportunity. You know, every student has a gift, is my belief. And you guys are clearly demonstrating your gifts up here, doing the play-by-play and running the scoreboard and everything else. And so I think we have to do everything we possibly can to highlight your gifts.
Yep, definitely. And for future reference, how are you feeling about this upcoming sports year for Chapin with all sports teams?
Yeah, I mean, I think the sky's the limit. The football team's improving each week. I was talking to Coach Gentry the other day, and he said, you know, in the film study, that's what they're noticing. Every week they get better. And so that's all you can ask for your players. You know, and obviously our other athletic teams are competitive. Our cheerleaders are looking good. They're excited about moving up to 5A, as well as our other sports programs. And so it's going to be a fun year. It's going to be challenging. 5A is tough. We got some real competition, but I think, you know, that brings out the best in competitors.
So I know it's already been pretty stressful for a big transition, but what makes you just realize that, quick fumble on the play, and it's a turnover. Chapin takes over the ball, And a great transition for the Eagles. And that's definitely got to take a toll on the Newberry Bulldogs.
Yep, and Chapin will have the ball back. 1st and 10. Ball around the Newberry 30-yard line. And as we get back into this interview with Mr. Ames here, what are some changes that people at Chapin can expect over this whole next year?
Not a lot. I mean, I think my biggest job is to not get in the way. You know, it's a well-oiled machine, and the teachers do a great job here, the administrative staff and the students. So really, my biggest job is to get out of everybody's way and make sure I don't screw it up.
Oh, and a great play by Roger Padroni. It gets a good gain and a good first down there for the Eagles as they get into the Bulldogs red zone.
Yep. It'll be 1st and 10 for Chapin. Ball at the Newberry 20-yard line. Padroni there with an 11-yard gain on the run. So, growing up, were you a big football fan overall, or?
No, I actually never played it. I grew up in upstate New York, and basketball was what everybody did. Now, I did coach football for 5 years when I went back into teaching, but no, we didn't have a football team.
And a good play there by Michael McNeil. Gets into the 10-yard line. Maybe a little more, but they're going to move the chains, I believe. Yep, 1st and goal for the Eagles now. You can definitely tell the Bulldogs are getting frustrated. And I think the Eagles are definitely getting inside their heads.
Yep, and this has been a huge drive for Chapin, trying to put this up to 2 scores and give themselves some insurance room to work with in this 4th quarter.
Now, Mr. Ames, you said you did coach football. What would be your biggest strategies for both teams tonight?
Well, I just look at the size of the line from Newberry. I mean, those are some big boys down there. So I think Coach Gentry's got a good strategy. He's been running the ball and making those guys go sideline to sideline, trying to stretch things out. So when you get those guys tired now in the 4th quarter, you can start pounding them, hitting some bigger holes, and hopefully bring it home.
Yes, sir. But yeah, so growing up, you were more of a basketball fan growing up?
Yeah, you got to remember, New York, it snows about October, so you don't get a lot of the outside time. So that was the big sports season up there is basketball. And, you kind of played everything else in preparation.
Did you also ever hear of lacrosse up there, big?
You know, just got there when I was leaving. I actually got my undergrad degree from Salisbury University in Maryland. And that was kind of like a feeder school for John Hopkins and some of those big lacrosse schools. So I know lacrosse. I've watched a lot of games, and it's a fun sport.
Oh, yeah. Definitely the lacrosse team is also, we've been talking about a big transition from 4A to 5A competition. You know, 5A definitely got the big competitors, really well-skilled players. And I think it's definitely going to be a challenge. And not just for them, but for also every sport.
Oh, yeah.
And a catch and a big, Michael McNeil almost with a big reception.
Yep, and I thought it was about to be a touchdown pass, another touchdown pass there for Padroni. It looks like Nelson will be on to attempt the field goal here in a second for the Eagles.
But we do have an injured player on the field. It looks like they're going to take a quick timeout.
And as we continue on with this interview, so did you grow up a Knicks fan or?
I grew up a Bulls fan.
Windy City.
Yeah, I grew up watching Michael Jordan, James Worthy, Sam Perkins. And so those are my teams growing up. You know, in college, I watched Jordan hit that first shot that you see, when he was a freshman against Georgetown to win the championship, and that won me over. So I was actually a Tar Heel fan and didn't really get into the NBA much until he went into Chicago. And then I just fell in love with watching him play in Chicago.
Definitely one of the true legends you see, and just not outside of sports, but just a person in general.
Sure. And it's funny now because your generation's growing up with LeBron James, and so you get that conversation.
Yeah.
You know, when I was growing up, the conversation was who was better, him or Oscar Robertson.
Yeah.
And so we would have those battles, and now it's fun to watch that same battle continue, but on the other side with LeBron James.
So do you have a current favorite NBA team as of right now, or?
I haven't watched an NBA game since he retired.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Not one. They changed the rules. You know, back in the day, if you remember the Detroit teams and some of them, you could beat on each other for 48 minutes, and it was okay. And now you can't touch because it's all about scoring. So it's a different game than I grew up with.
Yeah, because you had those bad boys teams of the Pistons from the 90s with Dennis Rodman, Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars.
Yep, and they were all business. I mean, those were some real battles, and the game has just changed where it's a lot more isolation, a lot more one-on-one. And, it's just a different game.
But yeah, as we continue on so really with your was your first exposure to high school football just coaching it, or?
Yeah, it really was. You know, I started in PE and I coached varsity basketball and track to start, and then they needed some help actually coaching offensive line. And if you know me, I don't look like an offensive lineman. I'm getting there the way my wife's feeding me, but I spent time learning and really enjoyed it. And so for 4 years, I worked under a coach named Jim Hoover, who is number 2 in the state in New York in our class of all-time wins. Wow. He's only behind his father, which I think was kind of cool. You know, he and his dad were 1-2 in wins in the state, and so to learn under him was a lot of fun.
And as we have just, Alex Nelson just hit a 31-yard field goal there for the Eagles, and they take a 24-14 lead here with 8:48 left to go here in the fourth quarter.
You could definitely see Newberry's getting frustrated at the little things, and that's what's going to cost them the big game in general. And hopefully propel Chapin from this mental breakdown that Newberry is probably having. It might get Chapin the win tonight, progress them to continue their undefeated streak.
And then lead into that big game next week against Spring Valley, at Spring Valley, which we will be at next week.
Make sure to tune in to YouTube CSPN and watch Chapin take on Spring Valley. This time not at Cecil Woolbright, but at Spring Valley's high school.
Yep, and it's going to be a very exciting game. And continuing on with the theme of football here, did you have a favorite college football team, or did you never really get in?
Upstate New York, you don't watch a lot of college football. If you do, it's Penn State. Syracuse was always terrible, so you never watched them. Connecticut didn't even have a D1 team when I was up there. I think it was D2 back then. So, no, you didn't watch a lot of college football. Matter of fact, I didn't know where Clemson was until I moved down here.
Oh, really?
I had no idea. There'd be the game of the week and Clemson would play, and I don't know where it was. So, at least I know that. But I've fallen in love with it down here. Still haven't picked a side.
Still haven't picked Clemson, Carolina yet.
My wife is funny enough. My wife got her undergrad degree from Clemson and her graduate degree from USC.
Wow.
And so she doesn't even know who to root for. So I'm safe in my house right now. But with my daughter, she's going to want to pick somebody. So I think wherever she picks, that's the direction we'll go.
Have you ever attended a football game here in the South yet, or no?
No, I haven't. And it's crazy because I love the energy. I love the feel of it. And I mean, it's an event.
Yeah.
And one of these days I'll get out there, but I'm almost a little intimidated. I mean, it's a way of life down here.
It's definitely one thing for when you see a leaf fall, you know football's around the corner.
Yeah, and listen, last weekend, the best weekend I've had in a long time because college football was back. So put the chili on the stove and sat down and watched a full 2 days of it.
Yeah, the NFL coming back and college football. It's definitely a good season.
It's a great time of year.
Yep. Do you have a favorite NFL team overall?
I grew up a Niners fan.
Oh, wow.
Back with Montana and Young?
Montana, yeah. My whole family are Cowboys fans.
Ooh.
And I couldn't stand them. And back the catch, Montana to Dwight Clark. And I remember sitting there watching that game with my cousins and just rubbing it in their face. And so ever since that point, I was a Niners fan. Had some bad years, some down years, a lot of them actually. But hopefully they'll get their act back together and become relevant.
You got that new quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, they got from the Patriots.
Yeah, he looks good. He looks real good. And, it's a quarterback league. And so once you got that position cemented, you should do well.
Yep.
And that whole state's got quarterbacks in it. You got at the Chargers there. The Rams. I mean, they've got a lot of good talent out there in the West Coast now.
I mean, yeah. Definitely. I mean, it's definitely understandable. I mean, 49ers should be very excited about their year overall with Jimmy Garoppolo coming in at quarterback, and that defense still is dominant as it.
Yeah. Yep. It's going to be interesting this year though with the Raiders.
So we're getting a signal from our producer Carter Burns, who is referring to the Jaguars, his favorite team.
That's a young man who's gone through years of pain.
Hey, at least now they're actually looking like they're going to have a really solid team for a while, though.
They do. They may have to look at their quarterback situation, though, if they think they're going to win a Super Bowl.
I grew up a Denver fan. Shout out to the Broncos.
My wife's a Broncos fan.
I grew up there for about 9 years, and then we moved here in 2011, but I've stayed loyal to Denver. And we've had some rough times. Did have that one Super Bowl win. That was very nice, and it's gone downhill
Those
since.
are my Panthers, buddy.
Hey, it was sweet walking into school the next day with knowing Denver got a third ring.
As we get back to the action here, there's a tackle here on 4th down. Now we 4th and 5 come for Newberry, ball on their own 25. And curious to see a play call here for the Bulldogs with 7:40 left to go. Maybe they put all the chips to the table here, try to go for it. If not, I mean, I would assume you try to punt it away here in this situation. 4th and 5 at your own 25-yard line.
And you think about the NFL being, it's all rigged, and these games are already predicted. But you look at high school football, and I think it's actually probably the most genuine type of football there is, because you never know who's going to win. You see a small school, like for example, last year Chapin fell to Crestwood in the first round of playoffs, and no one ever expected that. And I mean, you see Newberry, I believe they're a 3A school, but they're still holding on to Chapin, who's a 5A school this year.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's always good to see that there's always hope for the underdog. I mean, no pun intended for Newberry, but
yeah, I mean,
I think Chapin brings out the best in teams. I think when people come here, they want to put on their best show and they want to come out with a victory. It's a feather in your cap to beat Chapin High School.
Yeah.
I mean, knowing the tradition that they've had since Coach Gentry came in a little over 7 or 8 years ago, I mean, it's definitely been a huge culture change here in Chapin as it's consistently become a very solid football school. And there's a
big sack by Connor Law.
And helped out there by number 57, Kaim Christie. And
this might eventually be the nail in the coffin as the defense is starting to make big plays. That offensive line is starting to break through. And Zay Chalmers is just getting eaten alive back there.
And now it'll be 2nd and 21 coming up here for the Bulldogs, ball at their own 20-yard line with right at 6:30 left to go here in the 4th quarter. I mean, yeah, that's the thing with talking about high school football, though. It's the most genuine feeling. You have all these kids that are trying to prove themselves. Some wanting to go to the next level. Some just wanting to do it for high school, for pride and glory of.
Oh, and a good bobbled catch. Oh, never mind. It's going to be ruled incomplete. Pass was intended for number 12, Ahmad Willis.
I think my favorite part about high school football, too, is they're playing for the name on the front of the jersey and not the name on the back. And so that means a lot to me.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing is, like, you have all that school pride. It's not about names. It's not about your name brand that you got to hold. It's not like college where you got to make sure you have a name brand so you can get drafted in the NFL. It's just the authentic feeling of high school football.
Yep.
That's something my lacrosse coach, Jeff Mergen, told me told all of us during halftime. He said, play for what's on your chest. If you want to win, play for what's on your chest and represent well. And I think that really hit well. And I think that's really what you said really meant a lot. It's what you play for, not for yourself.
Yeah. Yep. Front of the jersey, not the back. And I think you're right. That's what makes high school football so pure. They're playing for their fans. They're playing for their town. They're playing for their school. And it's a wonderful thing to see.
And as you see here, now we got a punt situation here for Newberry. 4th and 21. They'll be playing from their own 20-yard line. And back deep to return is Trey Lyles and Giovanni Macaluso here for the Eagles. Let's see if Gio the Jet maybe can put up some more heroics tonight.
Yeah, he looked good that first return.
That was a huge hole made there by the special teams unit. And definitely a mistake made by Newberry to give Gio the Jet Macaluso the ball.
I mean, as a former football player, I remember the times on JV where Gio would just dominate on kickoff returns and take them to the house always.
And we got a quick timeout here as both teams are going to head to the sidelines real quick for I can't tell who called the timeout.
Yep, with a little bit over 6 minutes left here to go here in the 4th quarter. Chapin will get the ball back. Let's see what Chapin's strategy will be, whether they just try to run out this clock, try to end this game now, maybe try to go for another touchdown here. I would assume that you wouldn't try anything risky, though, to turn the ball over and get it right back to Newberry so they can have a shot to get back into this game.
Yeah, I'm pretty conservative. I want to run the ball, maybe a little play action if you're feeling brave on 1st or 2nd down. But for the most part, we want to protect the ball, run the clock. It's our friend right now, and bring us home to victory.
Yep, Chapin looking to go 3-0 and continuing this hot start to the season before we get into region play. And the thing we got to look ahead to is that first region game against the 2-time defending state champ Dutch Fork Silver Foxes.
That's going to be a tough one, but you know what? You move up to 5A, you got to play the best. So
I definitely think it's going to be not only a good experience, but just a good feeling for our players to get a heads up of what's going to be coming for the next few years. We just can't expect everything to be handed to us, and Dutch Fork is definitely going to be a challenge for Chapin, but I feel like they're going to throw up a good fight.
Yeah, that's one thing about Gentry's teams is he makes them work, and they do. They play the game the way it's supposed to be played for the entirety of the game, and and that carries over into life. His players go out and are successful because they know the value of hard work.
I definitely think that's one perk of playing high school sports and playing sports in general is it develops good life morals and skills.
Absolutely.
And you can definitely be more of a successful person, a more wise person from learning just to work with others. On a great tackle there by Newberry. Might be a little late action. Nope, not going to be called.
Yeah, but it'll be 2nd and 12 coming up here. Dre handed off to Thomas, but he is stopped immediately almost.
And another timeout called.
And then we thank you, Mr. Ames, for joining us tonight on the broadcast.
Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure. You're doing a great job. I'm proud of you. Keep it up. And anytime you want me back, just ask.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir, we will. And as we continue on with this performance right now, we see Newberry has a player down the field at around the 36-yard line.
I believe I saw him. He looked like he might be cramping up. I mean, if you're looking at a fourth quarter, you've been working pretty hard. Your muscles are going to get pretty tired eventually.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing that Mr. Ames brought up is that continued success of people that have gone through Gentry's system. I mean, you look at the amount of D1 athletes that have come out of the Chapin family since Coach Gentry took over. You look at guys like Mason Zandy, Will Register, Hank Manos that are all playing, that all have played or are playing at South Carolina right now. You also look at Will Webster, who's at Coastal Carolina as well.
Also, Stephen Harry-Lambus, who plays for Charleston Southern.
Yeah, Stephen Harry-Lambus. I always forget about Stephen Harry-Lambus.
He actually did get a shout-out on the ESPN. They did shout out where he came from, Chapin, South Carolina. Not hard to forget where we are.
Oh, yeah, definitely not hard to forget where we are. The best small town in America, that's for certain. But, yeah, it'll be 2nd and 12 coming up here. Ball on the Newberry 39-yard line. Again, we thank Mr. Ames for joining us tonight on our broadcast. I mean, it's always a great pleasure to talk to him and hear about the great things planned for this school year for Chapin.
I think it also is very good, to have the administration be involved with the kids and the students and getting involved with the clubs and the extracurriculars, and I think that just shows a good commitment to the school.
And Lyles dragged down there by his jersey, and it'll be about 3rd and 11 coming up here for the Eagles. Well, it looks like 3rd and 10 actually. Ball on their own 37, ball on the Newberry 37-yard line. Chapin want to get some yards at least to possibly try a field goal here with Alex Nelson. If we're trying to go for a short punt here, there's a little bit of time left to go. Is it going to be I think it's going to be offsides here on Newberry, actually, will be the call. It'll be offsides here on the Bulldogs, which definitely gets a little bit closer to Alex Nelson's range if needed, because Nelson can hit a 50-yard field goal if need be. He does have one heck of a boot on him. And, yep, it'll be 3rd and 5 now for the Eagles. I'm curious to see what the play call here is now. You get a little bit more options now instead of a 3rd and long, possibly having a pass. Maybe you can come with a good run call here. I mean, I think Chapin, your goal is just to run out the clock as we have a little bit under 5 minutes left to go here in the 4th quarter. You see Chapin trying to milk out that clock right now. That's a great strategy here.
Trey Lyles in the motion.
I think it's going to be a delay of game. Man.
Yep. I don't think they snapped the ball in time.
Man, that's a huge break for Newberry. Now Chapin's got to go back to square one, too. That's got to hurt. I think, yeah, Chapin, I mean, yes, you're running out the clock, but you still want to try to get an insurance touchdown or field goal here to really try to make sure Newberry can't get back into this ball game. But, I mean, Chapin overall, good performance. So far, a decent performance tonight for Chapin. I mean, Wilmore has been phenomenal for Newberry, but the issue's been no one else has stepped up for Newberry besides him.
But you did have Kentrell Caldwell, who did actually pretty good for a backup running back. And, Tyson Thomas with room. He's got run. He's all by himself.
Gone.
And it's a touchdown, Chapin.
There are feathers in the end zone here at Cecil Walbright Stadium.
I believe, folks, that might be your nail in the coffin. Another 6 for Chapin. Put it up on the board, 30-14, and an extra point on the way.
Huge play there. Great screen call here on 3rd and 10. I don't think Newberry was expecting it. Great blocking downfield, and Thomas is gone. His second total touchdown on the day. And Chapin looking an extra point away from making this a 31-14 point game.
And I definitely think all their running backs and all their receivers and all their eligible receivers definitely have great speed. You know, you look at Cooper Evans, you look at Tyson Thomas, Trey Lyles, Gio Macaluso, all of them. They've all done extremely well with speed, and they've been able to, for the most part, outrun the secondary.
And I think the extra point actually was missed there.
Yeah, Alex Nelson did not convert the extra point, so the score is going to be 30-14. But Chapin takes the lead with 4 minutes and 32 seconds left to go in this ball game.
Newberry has a tiny shot still left, though. 4:32 left to go. 2 timeouts. They need 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions to tie this ball game, though. So, and let's see if Newberry can get the pass game going, because they've tried going for the deep plays tonight, and deep passing has not really worked for Newberry. It's been the short to mid-range pass game that has worked, but they have struggled to hit the deep ball tonight, and that's a huge problem for them. Is that really they've been relying on their run game for the big plays tonight. And Chapin has definitely done a lot better job this year compared to last year, sniffing out that screen that Newberry used so effective last year.
So here comes Nelson on the kick. Gonna fake that onside, and Newberry drops back.
And yep, so Nelson will be back to kick off here for the Eagles with 3 return men back deep for the Bulldogs with 4:32 left to go here in the 4th quarter. And there's the there's a squib there actually from Nelson.
Oh, it's gonna be fumbled again, but picked up. And here comes the Bulldogs on the return, and they got room to run. And it's gonna be brought down. Great return there for the Bulldogs. That was number 1, Josh Mathias, the defensive back and wide receiver.
Yeah, it looks like he was tackled down there by number 31 for the Eagles, Will Martin, on the tackle there. And now Newberry will start 1st and 10, ball in their own 39-yard line here with 4:24 left to go here in the 4th quarter. And Newberry got to get a quick score here in order to have any shot left in this ball game.
Yeah, here comes Chalmers and the Bulldogs offense, hoping to make something out of this 4 minutes and 24 seconds left. And Chalmers drops back. He looks for a open target, makes it through a bunch of Eagles, and that's going to be a 1st down and a little more. Great conversion there.
Yep.
The pass was complete to number 12, Ahmad Willis.
Yep.
That triple threat. He plays backup quarterback, wide receiver, and is also a running back.
Yep, tackled down there by the combo of Dylan King and Jacob Drag for the Eagles. 1st and 10, ball at the 43-yard line, though.
And it's going to be a quick pass caught to number 15, Malik Johnson.
Yep. He'll get down 2nd and 4, and you see that very high-speed game coming in here for Newberry, trying to quickly score some points here on this drive. You see Chapin checking in number 99, Rodney Green. Shout out to Rodney Green. I think this is actually maybe his 1st varsity action on the year.
I think this is probably his.
I was not there last week, so I'm not 100% positive.
This is probably, I think, his 1st home debut for Rodney Green.
Yep.
And Chalmers going to throw it out of bounds.
Yeah,
no intentional grounding there.
Yep, was outside tackle box, got it out of bounds, past the line of scrimmage. Now we'll have 3rd down coming up here for Newberry. 3rd and 8, ball on the Chapin 38-yard line. Big play coming up here.
And it's 3rd down now for the Bulldogs. This is big for either team. Chalmers has 3 to his right and 1 to his left. He's going to roll right. He's going to look left, though. And he's got double coverage, but he's looking for the end zone. And there's a flag. That's going to be a pass interference.
Yep, not even a question.
That's
got to turn your head back on that call, and defense for the Eagles not able to turn their heads back. Easy call there for the referee.
I think that looked like the 2nd string. Some of the younger guys playing in the secondary.
Yeah, it looks like actually it was number 28, Josh Loy, there with the pass interference call. And now it'll be 1st and 10 coming here for Newberry. Ball at, I think it'll be the 23-yard line, I would assume.
And there was also Noah Rankin on the coverage too.
Yep.
That's gonna be huge for Newberry. They get a big gain out of that.
Yep. 1st and 10 coming in here for Newberry. Ball on the Chapin 23, and Newberry's got a little bit of life left. I mean, still 3:22 left to go. There's plenty of time for Newberry possibly make a comeback in this ball game, but they need to score and get that 2 point. If they don't get that 2-point conversion, if they score a touchdown, I think it's game over. So
Looks like Chapin might be showing some pressure up here. It's going to be a handoff to Wilmore. Wilmore's got room. He sheds a tackle, sheds another one, and he piles through and gets a first down.
Yep, first down there for Amare Wilmore. I mean, another big carry there, and he's continuing to shed those tacklers for the Eagles tonight. I mean, I would love to know how many broken tackles he has at the end of this ball game. I mean, he is not afraid of making contact with some Eagles right now.
And Chalmers is going to roll to the right, and he's going to keep it. He's got room to run. He's going to run out of bounds as a big flock of Eagles forces him to run out of bounds.
Yep, and it'll be second and goal coming up here for Newberry. Ball on the Chapin 6-yard line with 3:02 left to go here in the fourth quarter. And I think definitely that was pun intended.
I mean, it just came off the top of my head. Don't know what I could tell you there.
So yeah, it'll be second and goal coming up here, actually from the 5-yard line of Chapin, with Newberry trying to look in to power in possibly a score and try to get 2 here. I mean, let's see if Chapin's defense can maybe make a stop here. It looks like it's mostly second-string defense coming in here for Chapin. So Rodney Green there almost got. That's going to be a touchdown there. Amarea Wilmore there on the touchdown catch.
And we might have a ball game here, folks. 2 minutes, 57 seconds, but Newberry's cut that lead, and now it's going to be 30-20.
Yeah, I know Coach Stogner's definitely not happy down that sideline with his defense right now. I mean, you need to make a stop there, but instead Newberry will have to try to make a 2-point conversion here. You see now, yeah, Chapin bring on their whole first-team defense here. This huge opportunity late in this ball game. Yep, so yeah, here will be 2-point conversion here for Newberry, but there is a Bulldog down in the end zone. I cannot see who that is down in the end zone, though, for Newberry. And we have 2:57 left here to go in the fourth quarter. Chapin is up 30-20 over the Bulldogs of Newberry. And you see the Chapin student section right now very excited for hopefully Chapin to pull off this win and go to 3-0 in the season as we prepare for Spring Valley next week, which I think will be Chapin's toughest test so far this season. I mean, the amount of talent that Spring Valley has been, I mean, almost incomparable probably to anyone else Chapin has faced. And that's no disrespect towards Lugoff, Elgin, Newberry, and Mid-Carolina. I mean, all 3 are very talented teams in their own rights, but Spring Valley is consistently one of the better 5A schools in the state of South Carolina. And yep, here we go. 2-point conversion coming up here for Newberry. They'll be starting from the 3-yard line. You see Chapin trying to make a huge stop here. Chapin make a stop here. I think the ball game's over, and Chapin's got it in the bag. Let's see if they can make a stop here, and they throw it back towards the corner of the end zone.
And it is caught.
2-point conversion, good, man.
Ahmad Willis. And now it's an 8-point game.
We got some late drama here, and really, Newberry, I don't know if they have to onside it necessarily. They still have 2 timeouts and 2:57 left to go. They still got a lot of time left in this ball game. So, yeah, definitely this game is not over by a long shot. But Chapin need to make sure that if they can get the ball, get a first down, I think they can seal it with a first down on this drive. Yep, 30-22 here with 2:57 left to go here in the fourth quarter. And just big moment here coming up in this ball game. We'll see if Newberry decides to onside, or let's see if they maybe kick it deep. I mean, I think there's a possibility to kick it deep just because you have a good amount of time left. You don't have to onside it with 2:57 left to go.
So now here comes the return team for Chapin. I don't see Gio the Jet out there.
Yeah,
correction, he's right there at the front line.
It looks like they put out the hands team, so they think it's going to be an onside, but I really wouldn't be surprised if Newberry does not kick an onside. They have a good amount of time left to possibly make a play out of it.
I think what Chapin might want to do is I think what Coach Gentry would be thinking, run it, as Mr. Ames said earlier, run it to the sides, get those linemen and those linebackers worn out, and get them, a little more tired. And then eventually, if you keep getting the first downs, once you get to like a minute, start taking a victory formation.
And yeah, it actually looks like Newberry is going to go for an onside here. Shocked, actually.
And here comes the kick. And it is caught.
Chapin recovers the onside kick. Man, that was scary.
That
there
was
for
a little
second.
scary. It looked like it was tipped. I can't tell if Newberry tipped it or if it was a Chapin player
It
tipped
was
it.
a good hop, whatever it was, but Chapin was able to recover it, and they get it down to their own 48-yard line. So we first 10 Chapin, their own 48, 2:57 left to go. And the thing about Newberry, they have 2 timeouts. They got plenty of time to stop the clock here. And if they can stop Chapin from getting a first down, plenty of time to make something out of this.
But I definitely think if Chapin put up another touchdown, I think it would probably be a game over.
I agree with that.
But all Newberry needs is 8 points, and we have a tied ball game.
But yeah, it'll be first and 10 coming up here for Chapin, ball on their own 48-yard line. Padroni back at quarterback. Looks like he'll have both Evans and Thomas with him in the back.
And we're going to start the game clock.
So yeah,
Looks like there might be some confusion on the sideline. They might want to get the snap soon. They're getting down to 10 seconds.
It looks like maybe a miscommunication here in formation. This is not good for Chapin.
And it's going to be a handoff and a flag's down on the play. And Tyson is off to the races.
Thomas
this might
is
be
off.
it. And he's off.
Touchdown
Eagles.
Tyson Thomas, but there is a penalty.
There is a penalty.
Let's see what the penalty will be, though. I think it might be on the Eagles.
It might be on the Eagles. I think they got the snap off in time.
No, definitely got snap off, but looks like a legal procedure there, and it'll be a legal procedure there.
Yeah. Looks like there might call for 12 men on the field. Oh,
yeah.
wait.
A legal procedure there on Chapin. Might have had 12 men in the huddle there. But yeah, so anyways, that big touchdown run negated there. So it'll be first and 15 coming up here for Chapin, ball on their own 43-yard line.
It was a great run by Thomas.
He was off to the races.
Such a shame it got called back.
Yep.
Hopefully they can do that again, though. But they're actually going to lose yards on that play. And it's going to be a replay of first down and a loss of 5.
Yeah.
And they're going to call a timeout. I think Chapin's going to call it.
Yep, Chapin's going to call a timeout here. They got to figure out there's something going wrong with the miscommunications right now. And definitely, Coach Halty up here in the box, definitely trying to get down to his coaches there on the sidelines, try to get plays out to everyone. I mean, you see, it looks like there's a good bit of confusion right now on the sideline for Chapin, but they got to get this confusion worked out and try to finish off this ball game here. Chapin, that'll be their first timeout actually of the second half, so they'll have 2 timeouts left to go as well. Both Chapin and Newberry have 2 timeouts left to go. First and 15 for the Eagles. 2:47 left, ball on their own 43-yard line. If worse comes to worse, Chapin can pin Newberry deep, though. That's the huge thing. If they are not able to get first down, they can pin Newberry deep in their own territory. There's a huge handoff there for Trey Lyles, and Lyles may be off to the races.
And he might be to the 25, the 20. Oh, and he runs out of bounds.
That may not have been the best decision, though, to run out of bounds. That stops the clock for Newberry.
That does. And a big play for Chapin.
That will stop the clock, though. And with 2:37 left to go here in the fourth quarter, but it will be a first down for Trey Lyles. Big gain there. First and 10 coming up here for the Eagles. Ball on the Newberry 16-yard line.
I think Lyles could have probably got a few more yards, but I do think it was a smart play. You do stop the clock, and you do eliminate the risk of getting another fumble.
That is true, but, I mean, you do stop the clock. That's the issue.
It's going to be a handoff to Thomas. Thomas is going to make a quick cut, and it gets a few blocks, and he's going to get a decent bit of yardage.
Yeah,
and now
there.
They're definitely in Alex Nelson's field goal range.
Oh, definitely are, and that's the scary thing here for Newberry. They got to get a stop right here. They got to get a turnover, really.
A turnover would be key right now for Newberry if they want to potentially get some points on the board.
And potentially stop Chapin from...
You can see Alex Nelson getting his legs warmed up just in case they might need him to put up security 3 points.
Yep. Try to make this an 11-point game here. So, yep, it'll be second down coming up here for the Eagles. Second about 3 at the Newberry 9-yard line.
And it's going to be a handoff to Cooper Evans. And Evans is in the end zone.
And it'll be a touchdown for Cooper Evans. His second of the ball game, third of the season. And Chapin, I think, have just slammed the door on the Bulldogs here.
That might be. Oh, and Wes Hiller is for the extra point.
Wes Hiller now on to kick the extra point.
And Wes Hiller for the extra point here.
Yeah. Wes Hiller, number 94, on to attempt the extra point here for the Eagles.
And the
hold
kick is
good.
up. And the kick is good.
Yep, and now it'll be a 37-22 Chapin lead. I think Chapin just slammed the door shut on Newberry's chances.
A minute and 48 to go. And after that big run by Trey Lyles, a handoff to Cooper Evans into the end zone. And that might be the nail in the coffin.
I agree with that. Huge play there, and Chapin will be up 15 now. Yep, so Chapin's offense tonight was phenomenal. That was really the key, is how well this offense could play tonight, and they came out to play. Putting up 37 points, highest point total they put up all season so far. And we really saw the pass really do well tonight as well for the Eagles. I mean, they were able to pass the ball really well tonight. Padroni had a couple of touchdown passes, one to Jason Graves, one to Tyson Thomas on the screen. And Padroni overall had 3 total touchdowns today. Cooper Evans had 2 touchdowns. Jason Graves with a touchdown reception. Tyson Thomas with both a touchdown run and a touchdown catch. I mean, just great performance tonight for the Eagles. I mean, definitely, Chapin's going to be very pleased with this performance. Most likely we'll get it, as long as nothing insane happens with a minute 48 left to go.
But you still have a minute 48 of football left to play. Anything can happen.
And there'll be a touchback there. And, I mean, yeah, minute 48 left to go. Newberry has 2 timeouts, down 15, though. And, I mean, yep, Newberry's just going to see if they can score quick. That's the only thing really they can do. I mean, but, yeah, great performance tonight for Chapin. And let's see if they can just finish this game off right here. And you see the sideline very hyped up for Chapin. They will move to 3-0 on the season into that big showdown next week with Spring Valley at Spring Valley.
The first region game of the year, if I am. Oh, correction, it's not. I thought Spring Valley was in our region, I guess.
No, Spring Valley's in a region with Irmo, Lugoff Elgin, Blythewood, Westwood, Ridgeview, I think is the region officially.
And it's going to be a screenplay brought down.
Yeah, brought down by a host of Eagles there. By a flock of Eagles, actually.
No pun intended.
Wink, wink. With a minute and 30 left to go here in the fourth quarter, Chapin just trying to finish off this game with a 37-22 win. I mean, Chapin very proud of this performance tonight. Able to get their 3rd win of the season.
Oh, there's going to be a flag on the play. Might be false start.
Yep, let's see what the call is here from the officials. It'll be offsides on Chapin, actually.
Oh, wow.
I think this might be a first down, actually, for Newberry. Yep, it will be a first down here for Newberry with a minute and 17 left to go, though. So yeah, not much time left to go here in the ball game. 37-22, Chapin are up. And you see that student section very hyped up tonight. Very good crowd tonight. And always first home games, a very good crowd for the student section at Chapin High School. And
and it's going to be a deep pass.
Over
great
throws
coverage.
his man.
That was number 32, Jordan Thomas on the coverage, and number 8, Ross Calderon.
Yep, and now it'll be 2nd and 10 coming up here for the Bulldogs. Ball on their own 31-yard line. And, yeah, Chapin just trying to finish off this victory here tonight, go 3-0 in the season. Newberry will fall to 1-2 on the year. I mean, tough loss tonight for Newberry. Definitely played a very good game. I mean, Amore Wilmore was everything is advertised tonight for the Bulldogs.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't get enough background help, I think, tonight.
He did not disappoint for sure. I can definitely say that. Another deep pass here, and good coverage. There's no pass interference there.
Yep.
I think that was Josh Loy on the coverage.
Yeah, number 28, Josh Loy on the coverage.
But going back to Newberry, I think they definitely did. They definitely did well for a 3A team going against a 5A team like Chapin. Mr. Ames said it well himself, saying, you know, everyone wants to come here and get a win against Chapin because, you know, that's something to brag about if you come to Cecil Woolbright and end up with a win. And Newberry definitely getting some good experience out of this, I think, and Wilmore adding on to his resume for potentially, you know, a college, look at college, or maybe even and a great one-handed grab by number 12, Ahmad Willis.
What a catch, actually.
What a catch by Ahmad Willis. Bobbles that and dodges a player. Number 44, Dylan King with the eventual tackle.
I think also Ross Calderon was there on the play as well for the Eagles. As we get down to 40 seconds left to go here in the fourth quarter, Chapin is trying to finish off this ball game right now.
Looks like they're going to roll to the left, and he's going to be met immediately. Ahmad Willis, but he bounces back and runs out of bounds. That's going to stop the clock with 29 seconds to go.
Yep. But instead of that forward progress, so now he loses a couple yards and will go back to, let's see, I think around the 35-yard line. Yeah, I'll say down around the 35-yard line. So about 2nd and 5 coming up here for the Bulldogs at the Chapin 35-yard line with 29 seconds left to go here in the fourth quarter. Chapin, again, just trying to finish off this victory against Newberry. I mean, thank you for everyone who's tuned in tonight. It's been a very fun game to watch overall.
Definitely a big shout-out to all our viewers. You know, taking time out of your night to watch Chapin if you can't make it, and coming into YouTube to watch us bringing life to you. Oh, and he's going to throw it out of bounds.
I don't know.
And there's going to be a flag. I think that might be intentional grounding.
I think that will be intentional grounding. No one was in the area there for.
And Zay Chalmers limping off the sideline.
Yep, intentional grounding there on Newberry. I mean, no one was in the area for Chalmers. He had to get off quick as pressure came in from number 52, Jarrett Whitley there, and number 25, Griffin Shelby. So, yep, it'll be 3rd down coming up here for the Bulldogs. Usually when you see an intentional grounding, you usually see a 10-second runoff, but high school football does not do that. It's only an NFL and college football rule, so it'll still be 24 seconds left to go here in the ball game. 3rd and 15 coming up. Actually, 3rd and 20 almost.
So it's going to be 3rd and long for the Bulldogs. A conversion would be huge for them. Keep the drive going. They got 10 seconds on the clock. Don't know what's going on. Oh, there's going to be a bobbled snap. Ahmad Willis fumbles it. And Chapin might recover it. I don't know. I think the running back fell on it. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, Will Moore fell on it there for Newberry. And I think that'll be our final play of the ball game as well.
We head to 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And Chapin will pull off the victory tonight against Newberry, 37-22. The Chapin Eagles move to 3-0 on the season. Newberry falls to 1-2. Valiant effort tonight from the Bulldogs, but Chapin was just too much for them tonight. And Chapin will be looking forward to next week's ball game at Spring Valley, which we will be on. We will be here on commentary for as well. So we look forward to talking to y'all next week during the Spring Valley game. And thank you for tuning in tonight, CSPN Live. I'm Pearson Uncle P. Wiley.
And I'm Hayden Skaggs.
And always remember, we love swimming.
And lacrosse.